on KDXU. I'm Andy Griffin. Thanks for joining us tonight as the Dixie Flyers get ready to battle here at home against their old rivals, all the oldest rivals in St. George, Pineview. Pineview's been around for, let's see, do the math, 39 years?
39.
Dixie's been around for 100 and something. So here we go. Andy Griffin and Carrick Segmiller live at Walt Brooks Stadium. Getting pretty pumped for this game. Again, our broadcast brought to you by Ideal Home and Paint, and our pregame is brought to you by Buck's Ace Hardware. Stop by Buck's Ace today for power tools, grills, and the best gun department. It's Buck's with locations at Dino Crossing, in Hurricane, and of course now out in Santa Clara, right there across from Harmon's. And how excited are you for a rivalry game, Carrick?
Hey, I say bring it on. Like you said, the longest standing rivalry in St. George, right, between the two St. George schools. Now, don't get that mixed up. We got Cedar up in Cedar. We've got Hurricane out in Hurricane. But, hey, Pineview, Dixie. I mean, this is the original St. George rivalry in high school football, and it is always a good matchup. I say bring it on.
Had a chance to read Carrick's preview on sportsradio977.com, and I was actually a little surprised that Dixie has been relatively dominant in the last 10 years or so in this rivalry, because Pineview's had some very good teams.
If you go back, so I went back 10 years. If you go back the last 5 years or so, Dixie's won a lot of those matchups. The 5 years previous, Pineview was pretty dominant, between 2012 and 2017. So they've 10-4. Dixie is over the last 10 years. Of course, you've got 4 matchups in the state playoffs. That's why there's more than just 10 matchups over the last 10 years. But when you have a rivalry game, I mean, throw numbers, throw what it says on paper out the window, right? And you got a Pineview team over across from us on this field that is ready to get a win. So expect them to come out firing tonight.
Got a little wind blowing tonight. We'll see if that factors in the game. We do have our keys to the game brought to you by Camping World coming up. We also have our starting lineup brought to you by Sky Mountain and our Star Watch. That's all coming up after this timeout. Yeah, what's up? No, you can take, they're doing national anthem, so you can take however long you need. You had 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. Okay. Yeah, that brings us right to our Camping World keys to the game. You know, your 2022 adventure starts at Camping World in St. George. Find a huge selection of all the top brands, sales, parts, service, and a full retail store at 1500 Auto Mall Drive, or go to campingworldstgeorge.com. Andy with Carrick. Carrick is going to give us keys to the game.
Yeah, let's rock with the keys to the game. Let's start with Pineview, the visiting team tonight. For Pineview, it's simple. Take care of the football. And, you know, it's cliche. You could say that every week, right? But this is a Panther squad that moved the ball between the 20s really well last week. In fact, finished with 415 yards of total offense at Hurricane last week. Outgained the Tigers, but still lost the football game because of 3 turnovers in that game. And 2 of those turnovers coming in plus territory right near the red zone. So you got to take care of the football. Give your offense a chance to actually get into the end zone and give this Flyers team all it can handle. For Dixie, we'd like to see some more balance, Andy. We want to see him throw the football a little bit. Jalen Schultz is doing a great job managing the Flyers offense, but right now they're about a 70-30 split between run and pass. And, you know, Coach Monkers loves to run. He's had some great running quarterbacks. He's had some great running backs over the years, but we've seen over the last few years an air raid from Dixie as well. So you really want to see a little bit more balance for Dixie. You want to see Pineview take care of the football. Those are your Camping World keys to the game.
All right, thank you, Carrick. Appreciate that. We'll go for our Sky Mountain starting lineup here in just a minute. Let's go now, though, with their Intermountain Sports Performance Star Watch. Improve speed, agility, and overall performance. Intermountain Sports Performance certified trainers helping athletes for more than 20 years. Call 251-2299. I'm going to throw a couple of names at you, Carrick. First of all, for Dixie, how does Seth Takau factor in? Is he worthy of being a Star Watch player, and will he be a difference in a game like this?
100%. Seth Takau did not play. He missed one of the games. I can't remember if it was the Riverton game or if it was the Palm Desert game down in California, but he is a huge difference maker. I mean, he's one of those guys that you don't list him as a certain position on the paper, right? It's ATH because he's an athlete and he does so much for your football team, and when he's not out there, then you're missing quite a bit. But that gives Jalen Schultz and the Flyer offense one more option to go to, you know, instead of just handing off to Jeff Christian in the backfield or running Jackson Barbin off the edge. It opens up the Flyer offense to have Takau out there on the football field.
Well, how important is Takau? I know he's not starting at quarterback, but he's one of the captains on this team. You know he's important to this Dixie football team. On the other side, I'm going to give you 2 names. The quarterbacks for Pineview. First of all, which one are we going to see more of, Tyler Brown or Abe Rosenlund? And second of all, are either one of those guys capable of elevating their play and taking the Panthers to the next level, which means a victory?
Well, based on what we saw last week, I would expect Tyler Brown to get the start. Didn't start last week, but he came in 17-28 for 231 yards and a touchdown through the air. He also rushed for 145 yards and a score.
Wow.
And so I would expect to see Tyler Brown get the start tonight, but Rosenlund, he ran for a touchdown last week as well. So I think you're going to see probably both quarterbacks play like you've seen up to this point in the season, but I would expect to see Brown get the start, and if he's rocking and rolling, maybe the game they just ride with one quarterback all the way through.
That's our Intermountain Sports Performance Star Watch. We'll take one last time out when we come back. The Sky Mountain starting lineup here at Dixie as the Flyers get ready for the Panthers.
We are just about ready to kick this thing off. Pineview deferred to the second half, so they will kick off right to left in front of us. Dixie with a couple of guys deep as we get ready to get this thing going. Andy Griffin and Carrick Segmiller here live from Walt Brooks Stadium as Raj Christensen, the PA man, one of the best in the region, gets the fans pumped up. Are you pumped, Carrick? We lost
there you go.
There we
I
lost
think if you,
there we go.
if you have your stuff dialed in and the volume knobs and the switches switch, then you can hear yourself. I'm pumped. Roger Christensen does a great job on the PA, and let's play football.
Let's do it. Ball in the air. Dixie will not have a chance to return it as it goes over the head and into the end zone. Back to trying to get a return on was David Bartsky, but he will not get a chance. And the Flyers will start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line and give us a chance now to take a look at the starting lineup for the Dixie Flyers. The quarterback will be number, I think, Seth Takau. No, Seth's going to start out in the slot. Okay, I saw Takau out there. I'm like, wait a minute. So it will be Jalen Schultz starting at quarterback. Takau will start in the slot. Bartsky is out there, one of the best receivers, and I think he goes both ways. So we got a couple of pretty good athletes out there. Again, it is Christian, the running back, as we get ready for the first play of this game. Send Takau in motion, and they fake to him. Instead, Christian has it, and he has room to roam around the left side, out across the 25-30 and out near the 35-yard line. First play of the game, first run was Jeffrey Christian for about 15.
Yeah, and he's had the most carries of anybody on this Flyers squad this season, and they're going to ride him. You're going to see a lot of running game tonight from Dixie, so settle in, get used to that, but then they'll mix in the pass at the opportune moment.
Our stats tonight provided by Wilkinson's and Colby Baggs Nielsen, just down the row from us. He's about 4 feet away from me. Right, Baggs? You all right? Yeah, all right. This time they do give to Takau, and Takau making his way across the field, gets into the secondary, across the 45, across the 50, breaks a tackle, actually runs a guy over, and gets it all the way into Pineview territory across the 40 to about the 37.
Can we go back to what you asked me before the game starts?
Will he be a factor?
A difference maker? And I think he answered your question right there. Takau puts his head down, runs through guys, broke like 3 tackles on the run, and here come the Flyers.
So the first play was a fake jet or fly sweep. Second play was the fly sweep, and both plays gaining into the secondary. And Dixie on the move now, 1st down and 10 at the 37-yard line of Pineview. There's a reason they have won 2 big games against a couple of really good opponents. Again, another fly sweep. This time a different receiver, but same result. Good carry inside the 25 and down to the 20-yard line goes number 13, Jackson Barbin.
Yeah, Jackson Barbin's one of those guys. I mentioned this in my game preview that I wrote for sportsradio977.com. They like to run him off the edge. They like the fly sweep in general, but they love Jackson Barbin coming off the edge. Now watch for Dixie maybe to go to the air here.
Play action maybe?
Maybe. I mean, if it ain't broke it, don't fix it maybe. But they've set it up perfectly here.
Takau in motion. They give to Christian up the middle, and this time a modest gain. And I say modest, still going to be about 5-6 yards right up the gut. And the final spot is going to be about the 14 rather. So give them 5, 2nd down and 5 for the Flyers. On the move here, opening drive of the game. We're just 1 minute in. Of course, region battles tonight. We've got Snow Canyon and Crimson Cliffs doing battle. That should be a great one over on ESPN Radio. Hurricane Cedar. Now a fake, and Schultz is going to try to run around the right side. He's got a blocker, and he will score. Jalen Schultz on the keeper as he faked the handoff left and went right for 6 points.
Jalen Schultz leading the Flyers down the field. Didn't throw it a single time, but when you can run, why not? And Dixie kicking this rivalry game off in style.
And hold everything as we talk about the great run. We also need to talk about the fact that hidden to us, but the White Hats saw a yellow hanky on a running play. That'll be a spot foul. They spotted at the 12, so the ball will come out to the 22, and it'll be 2nd down and about 13. So a loss of about 8, but they do get the down over.
Who's your color guy, Andy? Isn't he supposed to spot those things as yellow flags sitting on the ground?
Well, he's new at color. He's usually a play-by-play guy. So,
gosh, straighten him out, will you?
2nd down and long now for Dixie. They send Takau in motion. Schultz keeps it himself up the middle. Takes a couple of hits around the legs and goes down, but still got about 7 or 8 yards. And that'll bring up 3rd down for Dixie. And by the way, if you're wondering about field goal team for the Flyers, Jonathan Bibiano Vargas has been spectacular. I was watching him in pregame. He was hitting them from 50 in this wind.
Yeah, 2 for 3 on the season, long of 38 yards, but he can hit from between 40 and 50 yards.
See if Dixie dares throw now. It's 3rd down and about 7. And already we have our first time out of the game. So we'll take a 45-second break. It is no score, 2 minutes in. Dixie and Pineview. Be right back. Didn't really get a chance to talk about our Sky Mountain Golf Course starting lineup. It is Jalen Schultz at quarterback for Dixie. The running back with him is Jeff Christian. Christian splits out the left side. Schultz throws it over the middle. He's got a guy wide open, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Dixie Flyers. Was that Takal?
Takal.
Yeah, Seth Takal. They couldn't cover him when he was running the ball. They couldn't cover him when he's out in pattern, and that's a touchdown.
We wondered when they were going to throw the football, and they set it up perfectly. A lot of motion, a lot of stuff going on, and Takal leaks out into the middle of the field, and it's wide open about the 5-yard line, makes the catch, and once he catches it there, you're not taking Takal down.
Exactly. Vargas on down to try the extra point as a lineman. Oop, forgot to get out there. How do you forget you're on the kick extra point team? I don't know. Anyway, he's in place now, ready for the snap and the extra point. Kick is up, and man, kicked it a mile. It hit the scoreboard. Nice extra point by Bibiano Vargas, but the play never counted, so it was just a practice kick. I'm not sure. I don't see a flag. There is a flag, actually. It's going to be illegal procedure or false start on the offense kicking team, so they'll have to kick it again. But by the looks of Bibiano Vargas, it's not going to matter much. I noticed on that touchdown pass by Schultz, it seemed like he had to carefully aim that one. Look at the wind. You look at the flag out there. It is blowing across the field, so you almost have to aim a little bit right of your target and let the wind help it into their hands, and that's what he did.
Well, here you go, 25-yard extra point now.
And the snap is down. The kick is up. Again, plenty long, but wide left. Did it get through? It got through anyway. It was a knuckleballer, a little Joe Necro there, but it went through, and that's all that counts. We're 2 minutes in. Dixie now leading on our We Win scoreboard 7-0. Don't expect a return with Vargas kicking the ball, but you never know as we get ready for Pineview to take its first offensive possession. Bibiano Vargas puts a leg into it, and that's going to go well into and out of the end zone. And Pineview will start at their own 20.
Yeah, tough to get a return when you got a good kicker like that on the other end, even with the wind whipping across the field, able to kick it in to the end zone for the touchback. Really interested to see what Pineview is going to do here offensively. And, how do they respond to the Dixie touchdown? Still a lot of time left in this game, a lot of time left in the first quarter.
And it will be actually Rosenlund at quarterback. Surprised us because we thought Brown did a nice job this week. And the running back is Sanchez. Rosenlund's going to throws a slant over the middle. And does he hang on? I think he did hang on.
Quincy Jones across the middle. Ball was thrown at his feet. He was able to fall to the ground, make the catch in a 5-yard gain.
Pick up out to the 20, actually give him 6 even, 25.5, 26-yard line. As Rosenlund right on target on the first play of the game for Pineview. Our Sky Mountain starting lineup again, Rosenlund and Sanchez are in the backfield. He gives to Sanchez. Sanchez a little bit of room to roam up the middle. Short of a first down, but he does get close. A gain of about 3 yards. It'll be 3rd down and short for the Panthers.
What does Pineview draw up here? Back to the ground. You've got quarterbacks that can both run it. Last week at Hurricane, we saw them line up, in the shotgun, but we saw a 2 running back set for at times. It was a read option. It was a traditional option.
Yeah.
What do we see on 3rd and short?
They stay with 1 back behind Rosenlund on 3rd down and 1. Low snap. Rosenlund wants to throw a little swinger, and he does get it out there. It is complete, and that will be a first down for the Panthers as he threw it out to Jones.
And Jones makes the catch, gets the first down, and for just a minute, there was a couple guys that Rosenlund had to throw over, and he just got it over, his blockers and Dixie's defender, but goes for first down.
Gain of 6, first down and 10 at the 30 for the Panthers. Again, had a lot of yards last week, moved the ball up and down the field, but couldn't capitalize in the red zone. Actually threw at least 1 pick in the end zone. Now wanting to pass is Rosenlund. Little pressure, he'll roll away from it. Now he's looking downfield, looking, keeps running, gets to the sideline, throws it downfield, and it's incomplete. I wonder if he didn't throw that one away. And by the way, there might be a flag down. No flag.
That's Tatau Toloa in pursuit of Rosenlund. And he thought, I may not get the sack, but at least I'm going to make him deliver a pass on the run, and it goes incomplete.
Quincy Jones checks out. And into the game for Pineview is number 3. Jones is out. Costa checks out. Jones is in on 2nd down and 10. Rosenlund getting the start at Q for Pineview. Hands the ball off, big hole for Sanchez off the left side. He gets it across the 35 to the 40 and to the 41-yard line. That hole closed quickly, but he did have an initial gain and got him about 6 yards on 2nd and 10.
I love that play call. It was almost a read option, and he held it for a minute, then gave it to Sanchez. Sanchez kept both hands over it. You almost couldn't see the football for a minute, and it stopped a couple Flyer defenders dead in their tracks, and he's able to get out there 3rd and about 4 now.
On the left hash mark, and way over on the right side is Harris. Rosenlund on 3rd down and 4. Looks to throw out that way. Ball is nearly picked off, but caught by Jones, and it'll be a first down. That was about, 3 inches from a pick 6?
That was about 3 inches from a Blake Watson pick 6 for the Flyers. Instead, it's a first down for Jones. Way to hang in there and make that catch and get the first down.
So first down and 10. Ball now at midfield. Pineview gave up a touchdown to Dixie, 80 yards plus with a penalty factored in. Now the Panthers trying to match. They've got 2 running backs back there with Rosenlund. And 7:45 to go in the first quarter. Rosenlund hands it to the running back right up the middle. Pretty good hole. Again, Pineview's O-line making some holes on the carry was Sanchez.
But I love this 2-back set for the Panthers. You got Sersansi in there, and he's leaking out for a possible screen pass, and that is keeping the Dixie defense honest, and Sanchez right up the middle behind his O-line.
Gain of about 7.5 yards, 2nd down Pineview with 2 wide receivers left, and you're right, 2 running backs. Gives to the first man through, and a nice little hole again for Sanchez will get them another Pineview first down. First down today brought to you by Fabulous Freddy's.
We mentioned Dixie's offense coming in being about a 70-30 split between run and pass. Pineview, it's been almost 50-50, and we're seeing both of it here, run and pass, and into Flyer territory.
Got the Dixie D, which we found out they're missing a couple of linebackers, a couple of DBs. Got them on their heels right now. First down and 10, Pineview at the 37. Rosenlund back to pass. Here comes the pressure, wants a screen and had to throw it to the ground because the guy he wanted was on the deck.
Well, and that's a smart move. Cash Carlisle in pursuit, and Rosenlund sees, hey, I've got nothing to do with the football. I'm not going to take a sack here. Gets rid of it. They live to fight another down.
Pretty smart and savvy play for a senior. He is a senior, played a lot last year, but kind of split time this year. So you're right, smart play. 2nd down and 10 from the 37 of Dixie. Panthers dressed in black and white. Rosenlund wants to throw. Here comes the pressure. Now rolls to his left. Now he's going to take off. He'll lower his shoulder. Not necessarily the best idea for a quarterback unless you're Seth DeCal, but he did get about 9 yards.
Hey, Rosenlund saying, hey, I'm not afraid. I can run the football. I've got a couple of rushing touchdowns this season. And, he held on to it, wanted to throw it down a field, but credit the Flyers secondary forcing him to run. But he says, hey, I'll pick up the first down on my feet.
Quick Wilkinson's stat line, 88 yards for Dixie on their first drive. That's actually they went 80, but with the penalty factored in, an extra 8 yards. And right now, Pineview is at 43 yards and on the move and they did get a first down and 10 at the 26. Rosenlund wanted the handoff, but the running back, by the time he got it, the ball was gone. I don't think that was necessarily a replay. It was just too late.
Yeah, he wanted Sanchez to take the football. He's going to pick up about 8 yards off the left edge still.
A little lemonade out of lemons, right?
But there was a definite miscommunication. He wanted Sanchez to take the football, and hey, anytime you can get 8 yards out of that, you're going to say that's fine with me.
Yeah, down to right on the cusp of the red zone are the Panthers, trying to match that opening touchdown drive by Dixie. And this is where Pineview's had problems, inside the 20. Let's see if they can correct those on second down and about 3. Rosenlund looking right side, throws the ball out there. It is perfectly thrown to Jones. Caught at the 10. He spun around and down around the 7-yard line. That one looked dangerous too, and yet it was perfectly on the money.
Perfectly on the money. Mason Kesterson was there just saying, hey, I want my third pick of the year, but he threw it away from him. Jones had to kind of make a move and spin around and catch the football, but he did, and it's first down and goal inside the 10.
They're going to say it was down at the 8, so it'll be first and goal at the 8. Jones now split to the left side with 2 running backs again for Rosenlund. I expect a running play here, huh? And Rosenlund gets a snap, runs the option along the left side, wants to pitch it and pitches it late. It's fumbled. Now, fortunately for him, Jacob Searsansi was able to, no, that was Sanchez, was able to jump on the ball, or that would have been a disaster.
Boy, that went right off of Sanchez, and like you said, fortunately, it just fell right in front of Sanchez. And
I have to say, I didn't think it was that bad a pitch, Carrick.
It
kind of went off his hands.
It almost looked like he pitched it out in front of him, and I almost wondered, did they rule that an incomplete pass? It went forward.
Either way, the ball's still at the 8, so second down and goal. Rosenlund likely to pass here. Little play action, throws the ball out, and it is caught. What a catch by Quincy Jones in amongst a bunch of blue jerseys. He found the football and scored.
Leading candidate for our play
That's
of
right.
the game.
AWP.
Brought to you by AWP, because that ball was thrown. Jones was expecting it to go to the outside, and he had to spin around again. How did he make that catch? What a snag by Quincy Jones.
That'll make it 7-6. Now we'll try for the extra point to tie this thing up. The kicker, I forgot who the kicker is. I don't have a 99 on my roster.
Kimball Swift.
Swift, that's right. Swift kicks it up. It looks good, and it is good, and we're tied. We played just under 8 minutes here in the first quarter on our We Win Injury Law scoreboard. It's 7-up. Hey, sometimes stats lie. Sometimes they tell the truth. Listen to these stats, Carrick, brought to you by Wilkinson's. We thought Dixie 80-20, 70-30 run pass. They have 75 or 73 rushing yards and 15 passing yards. We thought Dixie or Pineview would be more 50-50. They had exactly 40 yards rushing, 40 yards passing in that first possession. Stats don't lie sometimes.
Stats never lie.
Well,
some coaches don't like the numbers, right? They don't want to get stuck on the stats, but they never lie.
Run back was brought out to about the 25, but there is Yellow Hanky. Boy, last week in Hurricane, we went through a stretch about half-hour stretch where there was a penalty on almost every single play. It was hard to do as a broadcaster. I know, Carrick, you and I were just like rolling our eyes like, gosh, let them play, guys.
It's a brutal third quarter out in
was.
Hurricane last week.
This one is a face mask, so this is going to go on Pineview. So the ball will go from the 25 out to the 40 and free 15 yards. I think last week we ended up with, was it 21 penalties and something like 300 penalty yards or something?
Felt like 4,000 penalty yards by the end of the game.
And Hurricane had 5 at halftime. They ended up with over 100 in the game.
Didn't help the lights went out twice.
Yeah, that too. We were doing postgame with 2 minutes left. Never done that before. 4:11 to go here in the first quarter. Dixie draws first blood. Pineview matches with a TD drive of its own. Now it's first down and 10 at the 40. They send Takao in motion and hold everything. We have a false start, I believe. Ref tried to throw it to the other ref and hit a Dixie player in the back of the head. I'm gonna call that a bad throw because the Dixie player wasn't moving.
Yeah, Corbin Workman saying, "Hey, come on, guys! I have my back turned to you and everything. at least let me know you're tossing it at me."
So the ball will go back just barely inside the 35, where it'll be first down in about 15 for the Dixie Flyers. They moved the ball pretty well on their first drive, picking up 88 yards in, gosh, it must have been about 6 or 7 plays is all. We'll see if they can make up that extra 5, because it is first and 15. Just underway. Each team has scored on its first possession. Now the second possession for the Flyers. Takao in motion. Gets the ball. No, fakes the ball. Schultz will keep it on the left side, and he won't even get the penalty yards back. He does get about 3. But that one might have been, Carrick, a good one to hand to Takao on that one.
Yeah, it's always, always a delicate balance, right? Do I keep it? Do I give it? And that time I think Takao had the edge, and Schultz held on to it.
Gain of 3, second down and 12 for the Dixie Flyers. The old rivalry game between Dixie and Pineview. Been around 39 years. This time they do give to Takao. He's trying to get to the outside, and Pineview was waiting for it this time. And he will get about 2, but it'll bring up a third down and long. And looks like Dixie's probably going to have to throw the football.
Trying to get a number. Preston Christensen was first to get to Takao, and he would not let go. Takao fought and fought. A couple other white jerseys there to bring him down.
It's early, Carrick, but Pineview so far doesn't look like an 0-3 team, do they?
They certainly do not. And, once you get into region play, everything changes. They didn't look bad last week. They just turned it over at opportune moments.
All right, third and long for Dixie. Schultz stays in at Q. He's got trips to the right side, and I think maybe the center forgot the snap count because 3 different wide receivers all flinched. And that'll be 5 against Dixie. The White Hat gets a word from the side judge over here. And they'll march it back to about the 35. They have to get to midfield to pick up a first down.
Well, you mentioned some injuries defensively for Dixie. You've got a guy or 2 out on the offensive line as well. And I'm sure they're shifting around a little bit and trying to figure things out in different positions.
Dixie Flyers here at home in Walbrook Stadium, site of many a great football team over the years, some state championship teams. Schultz back to pass, looking deep over the middle. Got a guy out there. If he can get to it, he does. It's caught at the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. And down at the 1-yard line is Barbin.
They're going to mark him at the 1. The defender grabbed him. It looked a lot like he rolled over the defender and into the end zone. I don't think he touched the ground.
I agree with you. I don't think he was on the ground. The fans over here on this near side, of course, Dixie, particular to Dixie, or partisan, but they're not going to get the call, and it'll be first and goal. Pickup, though, on the play of, 64 yards.
Dixie saying anything you can do, I can do better. We can throw it. See?
That thing hung in the air a long time, but Barbin was wide open by 3 or 4 yards. So here we go. They hand to Christian, and he pretty much walks into the end zone. And Dixie now leads at 13-7. I don't mean to be anticlimactic, but that hole was so big, even I could have run through that one.
And Barbin's saying, hey, how do I not get the carry on that? I made the catch.
Give it to 13.
I should have had the touchdown. Either way, Flyers in for 6.
Second score of the game. Dixie leads at 13-7. And obviously the onus will be back on Pineview to try to match as Bibiano Vargas is out to try the PAT. 13-7, extra point pending. With the wind again blowing right to left. Bibiano Vargas gets it up there, and it is wide right. He overcorrected for the wind, and the score will stay at 13-7. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Andy and Carrick. Field side at Walt Brooks Stadium, where it is 13-7. Does that extra point at this point, Carrick, really matter that much?
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
That's his first PAT miss of the year.
Yeah.
So.
And honestly, I think the wind messed with him because he aimed right to account for the wind, and it went right. Never did come back through, and now he kicks it out of bounds, and Pineview should get the ball out at the 35. Oops.
Well, if you want to know just how windy it is, I mean, you're watching Bibiano out there struggling in this wind, and he has been solid on kickoffs, PATs, field goals, you name it. The wind really is playing a factor out there.
I hate to jinx it, but I'm a guy that will talk about a no-hitter while it's going on. But, yeah, we are hoping these storms as they come through, lightning stays away. We do not want any lightning delays.
See, you're the one in the press box, huh,
Yeah,
that always brings it up, and everyone goes, oh, don't say that. Or the overtime word.
Yeah, that's true. But I broadcast no hitters and talked about him, and there was no jinx, so I'm not buying into that. Rosenlund back to pass, looking deep, triple coverage out there, and no chance as he went deep over the right side, trying to get it to number 10, Blake Stuckey.
Yeah, 3 blue jerseys there for Dixie: Watson, Van Leen, and Errol Dyer.
Well, we thought Dyer wasn't going to play. I thought he was hurt, but apparently he is out there. And it's 2nd down and 10, Pineview at their own 35-yard line. 2 minutes and 4 seconds left in the first quarter. 13-7 Flyers. Rosenlund fakes a handoff, now keeps himself to the left side. Got a hole. First down across the 40, 45. He's pancaked down, but not until he gets near midfield. Good decision on the keeper on the replay by Abe Rosenlund.
And we didn't get to see him a lot at Hurricane last week, but we saw a couple of runs. And it was just like that. You know, delay the handoff, and then boom, you see the afterburners kicked on for Rosenlund. He's got wheels.
Split to the near side for Pineview is Stuckey and Jones. Rosenlund with 2 running backs here, Sansi and Sanchez. And he keeps it himself. Boy, I think maybe Sir Sansi didn't want the ball or something. Little miscommunication between quarterback and running back. I really think Rosenlund wanted to give him the ball, but Sir Sansi didn't want it.
Yeah, he just ran away from that thing. And Cash Carlisle says thank you very much for the Flyers and grabs on to Rosenlund and gets himself the sack.
So Abe loses 3 on the play. 2nd down and 13 as we go 1:15 left in the first quarter. Big situation now for Pineview, though. They're facing 2nd and long. Got to try to chop that in half. Runs a little swing pass out there, and it is incomplete. I think they're going to call that a forward pass. Either that or a fumble out of bounds. We'll see. I think, yeah, they do call it incomplete.
Yeah, it looked like a forward pass that was intended for Matthew Costa, and Rosenlund led him just a little bit too much. Just a bit outside.
Yeah, as the Uke would say, Bob Uke. Now it's 3rd and long and down by 6, and their defense not showing much fight at this point. Hold everything as they're about to snap the 3rd and long play, and a flag comes in. I'm wondering if somebody lined up offside because I didn't see anybody moving. Did you?
I did not see any movement, and that flag came out pretty quick.
Yeah. I'm thinking they're going to call offside defense because somebody lined up in the neutral zone. Good
call by you, Andy. You act like you've called a few of these games over the years.
Yeah. I think I'm up near about 5,000 high school games over the last 28 years.
That's incredible.
What that really means is, dang, I'm old.
What it means is that that's incredible. That's a Hall of Fame broadcasting career right there.
Never wanted to leave St. George. Who knows? But I love it here. 3rd down and 8 now with the 5-yard walk-off. Rosenlund will pass. Here comes a Dixie blitz. Rosenlund got to get away from trouble. He gets away from one guy. Now he's rolling to the right side, and he does throw it. And was he out of bounds? There is a flag. Either way, it's incomplete, and we'll check the flag, and that's usually Carrick in the area of
a hold.
Holding,
and we used one of our lifelines, going back to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and phoned a friend. We had a few Dixie fans in front of us making that call for us, calling for the hold.
That was Ask the Audience, right? And they 99.9% of them said it was a hold. So now with the incomplete pass, that would bring up 4th down and 8 if they decline the penalty.
Decisions. They're looking like they're getting ready to mark off the penalty.
Wow, that's actually in football, the general rule is if it's going to be 4th and long, you decline it and make them punt the ball. But Pineview does have a penchant to go for it on 4th down. Maybe that's the thinking of Coach Monkers and the Dixie staff. I did want to mention, Carrick, this is normally would be a matchup of two of the most tenured coaches in the state, in Monkers and Ray Hosner. But Coach Hosner is sidelined, had surgery, and not able to really do his duties this year. So KJ Boyer taking over the duties. And well, I don't understand this one. They marked the penalty off. Okay, so he was out of bounds when he threw it. So they declined the penalty. The punt is caught down at the 23-yard line. The guy returning the kick stumbles a little bit. It's Barbin, but now he's got room to get outside. He cuts it upfield, and it's finally going to be dragged down, but not until he gets all the way back near the original line of scrimmage. Nice return by Barbin. Ball all the way out to the 46, 47-yard line.
Well, just an incredible return, and the fact that he's able even to catch that ball. It was kicked away from him.
Yeah, in the wind.
In the wind, and he chased it down and then went all the way from the numbers on one side, numbers on the other side, and made a 25-yard return out of it.
So Dixie with great field position at their own 46-yard line with Jalen Schultz staying in at Q. Christian is the running back. Takau split to the near side. Also Watson, I believe. Yeah, Blake Watson, one of our Intermountain Performance guys. He gets the ball right there, catches at the 45, makes a couple of guys miss, and gets it out into Pineview territory down to the 46.
Always fun when you call a guy's name before the play and it goes to him. Spidey sense tingling there. Watson making the catch. They had him marked about a 9-yard gain. They'll pull it back, looks like 7 or 8.
Yeah, about 8. 4 on one side of the 50, 4 on the other side. 2nd down and 2. As they look to the sideline for the call, Coach Monkers likes to name his offenses after different college programs. You'll hear Oklahoma or Texas or Kansas or whatever. Takau gets the fake. Now Schultz wants to throw deep left side. Again, he's got a guy open, but this time the throw is toward the sideline. He caught it. Whoa, what a grab over there by, I believe, Barbin again.
Jackson Barbin, that's the second ball from Schultz he's really had to wait for.
It was kind of on the wrong shoulder too, wasn't it?
This time he had to spin around, and I don't know if he lost his footing or if he just was going to the ground. Either way, made the catch going to the ground.
Big pickup on the play of 40-plus yards, and that will end the first quarter. Dixie's offense, hey, they got a little pass game in them too, don't they? We'll be right back on our We Win scoreboard. It's 13-7 Flyers. Dixie Flyers on the march. They just completed another deep ball to Mr. Barbin, and he's got 2 deep balls, 2 catches. Schultz, not necessarily great throws, but good enough. And now Dixie knocking on the door again as we start quarter number 2. 1st down and 10 and a half. About the 11. 1st down and 10 at the 11, we'll call it. Christian and Schultz in the backfield, trips to the right side, including that big tight end. They hand to Christian, rolling to the right side, got some room to roam to the 10, to the 5, and down to about the 1.5, 2. Close to a first down, actually. Remember, they can get a first without getting a touchdown.
Tiankin Jensen for Pineview saved a touchdown on that play, but 2nd and 1 upcoming.
Yeah, 2nd and 1 at the 2. So Dixie about to punch one in again. Remember, Pineview gave up 72 to Stansbury and then 35 the next week to Salem Hills. Gave up 28 last week to Hurricane. Quarterback Schultz wants to keep it. Pineview all over that one. Good penetration, and they'll stop the play in the backfield. Sansi, the first one there. And I don't think he got anything. I think it's going to be 3rd down and a yard and a half.
Well, and Schultz ran into his own guy. Adam Fielding, the offensive lineman, was there doing his job, and Schultz ran right into the side of Fielding, and then he was able to be brought down by the Panthers.
Do you find a way to get it to your athlete here? Takao, we'll see.
Star watch.
3rd down and a couple. He actually lost about a half yard. They do give it to Takao, sweeping left side, and he's going to beat everybody to the corner, and that's a touchdown again for the Dixie Flyers. And, yeah, I did it again. I called the right number before the play.
You're doing your best Tony Romo impressions here tonight up in the booth. And I think when you have 2nd and short that close to the goal line, 10 out of 10 times, that's going into Takao's hands, and he's into the end zone for 6.
Looks like they're going to bring the kick team out and try to settle for just one here. It's early in the game, obviously, first minute plus of the second quarter. So Bibiano Vargas is out there to try to make it 20-7. Snap. Ball is down, kick is up, and that one is good. So 20-7 is our count. Our We Win injury scoreboard has the Flyers marching up and down the field. They lead it by 13. Welcome back. Dixie leading it by a count of 20-7. Flyers with yet another score. They've had 3 scores now in the first 13 minutes and 13 seconds. A touchdown pass to Takao, a touchdown run by Christian, and that time a touchdown run by Takao, and the ball will go into the end zone for a touchback. But Dixie with 3 touchdowns in 13 minutes. That offensively, that's what you dream of, right, Carrick?
Very efficient for the Flyers, and Bibiano saying, hey, I don't have to kick into the wind this time. I'm going to kick it right into the end zone. And Pineview will start at its own 20. The Panthers came out and matched Dixie's first touchdown. Can they calm down here and say, hey, it's okay, it's still early. See if we can find the end zone before the half. Remember
back in the days, the old Madden days, your goal was to, when you're playing someone else, score every time. And if you, it's like breaking the serve in tennis if you don't. And that's kind of where we're at here. Pineview had their service broken. Now they need to come back, hold serve here, score, and then try to get a stop. First down and 10, Panthers at the 20. And they hand the ball off. It is Sanchez, and he is caught early and will have nowhere to go.
Couple of blue jerseys there, but it was Anthony Crichton that got him first.
Yeah, we were told he wasn't going to play, but he was there. I thought Jacob Dombrowski also in on the play.
A couple of guys now that said, hey, well, they're not going to play tonight, and there they are.
Second down and 11. We'll get a Hearst Ace Hardware scoreboard update here in just a second. A little surprise score from across town, actually from the next town over, Washington. We'll talk about that in a second. As Rosenlund stays in at quarterback, looking left, nothing there. Flag comes down. Now he's looking right and being chased for his life. He throws the ball underneath. It is caught by Jones. Jones could go. It may not count, though. Jones to the 50, to the 40, finally pushed out of bounds. But, hold everything. There is a yellow hanky way back at the Pineview 14-yard line.
Yeah, 2 flags sitting right there, and that probably going to negate what was an incredible catch.
That was Costa, not Jones, by the way.
Along the sideline by Costa. In traffic, makes the catch.
Well, when your quarterback is scrambling, you've got to make yourself a target. I thought Costa did a great job of coming back to the ball, and then you're right, great catch, and then breaking the tackle and getting up the sideline. But all that is not going to count because this whole thing's coming back. By the way, Hearst Ace Hardware scoreboard update for us. Carrick, you have a couple of scores. One of them, you told me a moment ago. I was like, now what? Now who's not playing and why?
Yeah, let's take a look at this one over at Crimson Cliff, Snow Canyon. The Warriors leading 13-0 early in this one. And you mentioned a player not playing. We can only see what the stats are telling us right now. But right now, the stats are telling us that Talon Kelly is playing quarterback for Snow Canyon and not Hunter Johnson.
I don't know if Hunter got hurt last week against Cedar or what, but
we'll keep an eye on that.
Kelly's a good athlete. I didn't see him playing QB, but there he is. The penalty marks Pineview all the way back to the 7-yard line. Panthers trying to get out of the shadow of their own goalpost, and that didn't work as the QB tried to keep it, and Rosenlund is thrown down rudely back at the 3.
And that's number 69 making the stop. We don't have anybody listed at 69 on this roster here, but what a stop it was. And Rosenlund, he wanted to option that ball. He wanted to pitch the football, but if he had, it would have been a safety for sure for the Flyers.
Now you're looking at, boy, get yourself some room for the punter because they're back at their own 3-yard line. Rosenlund standing in his own end zone, gets a snap, looking downfield. Here comes the pressure. Gets happy feet, gets away from it, throws across his body. The ball is caught, and a nice hit made in there for Dixie, but he may have hurt himself on the hit. Good catch for Pineview, number 10, Blake Stuckey on the grab, but the guy that hit him is still on the ground.
Oh, boy, that's always scary. That's Errol Dyer.
I don't think he's moved, has he?
The hit now. He's just barely starting to roll. He's rolled from his chest to his back now. But he dropped immediately. Heck of a catch.
Good to see him moving, first of all.
Heck of a catch by Stuckey to hang in there and take the hit, and then we hope everything's okay with Errol Dyer.
Get my binoculars out and see if I can get a look. He hit him low right around the knee-thigh area, and he hit him with his helmet shoulder pad area. And I'm only guessing maybe he just maybe concussed a little bit, maybe knocked him silly a little bit, and hopefully he'll be back, although in modern times. I remember, Carrick, years ago, I had a concussion on the field. They helped me off the field. 3 plays later, I was back in the game. They don't do that anymore. You have to go through a whole concussion protocol. And Dyer is making his way off the field. Looks a little woozy, but hopefully he's okay. Definitely not jogging off the field. He is walking slowly, and I have a feeling they will have to go through that whole concussion protocol. The other score I saw was 6-0 Desert Hills early over North Sanpete. They're heavily favored by 40 in that game, and no score yet after 1 quarter, Cedar and Hurricane on our Hearst Ace Hardware scoreboard. Good news, bad news for Pineview. Good news is they got out from under their own the shadow of their own goalpost. Bad news is they only got about 10 yards. They needed 27 for a first down.
Yeah, bad news is the punter is still standing on his own goal line.
Yeah, and punting has been an adventure for Pineview this year. See if they can get one away cleanly. Snap is back. Punter goes down to get it and does and gets it away. It's end over end, and it will bounce and get a little turf roll at the 40, at the 45, and it will die at about the 45-yard line of Pineview. So Dixie takes over with fantastic field position once again.
Couple of blue jerseys lurking on that punt. Almost got to it, but they're able to get it away. But still, like you mentioned, short punt, and the Flyers in business. Starting at the Pineview 45, and plenty of clock to work with before halftime.
Net of 33 on the punt, so not terrible. They did get him out, but this Pineview defense has got to show something here because Dixie's offense has been rolling up and down the field. First down and 10. Takao in motion. They fake to him. Play action. Schultz wants to throw. Throws a deep ball left side. This time a lot of defenders there. The ball is incomplete. Getting hands on it was the receiver on the play, but 2 defenders there. They knock him down, and the ball comes loose. Is that Barbin again?
That's Blake Watson.
Watson on the attempt, but he went up for it, high point of the ball, but so did the defenders.
Yeah, Tyson Dinsmore and Preston Christensen were there, and some Dixie fans clamoring for a pass interference, but I like that.
Yeah.
Keep it in your pocket there. It went off the receiver's hands, and then the contact happened.
Takao in motion again. This time they give it to him. A lot of room to the right side. Takao to the 45, breaks a tackle, the 40, 35, tries to cut back into the field and goes out of bounds, and a late flag comes flying in.
Boy, what a stiff arm. We'll see what the penalty was there, but what a stiff arm from Takao. He set Dinsmore to the ground with the stiff arm.
The flag came so late, you would suspect that's probably a late personal foul or late hit, something like that. We'll wait and see. But Dixie right now, if it stands, a gain is about 13 yards, and I think they're going to add 15 more on it.
Late hit out of bounds was the call.
Go all the way from the 33, which was a gain for Takao. Add the 15, it goes down to the 18-yard line. And Dixie, once again, for the fourth time in this game, is in the red zone.
And that's a costly one there. We saw that multiple times at Hurricane between the Tigers and the Panthers last week. Got to stop with the whistle.
First down and 10, ball at the 18. They give to Christian, right side. He's got a hole to the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Dixie. Another score, second of the game for Christian. And Dixie is rolling already with 26 on the board.
Love the play call. You've already run Takao off the sweep, off the right edge a couple of times, and it's worked every time. So you do it again, and the defense all swarms to Takao, and then you give it to Christian right up the middle, nearly untouched for the score.
Christian had that short touchdown late in the first quarter. Now he has a longer touchdown, 18 yards here in the second quarter. And Dixie now can get a 20-point lead if Bibby and Vargas can hit this PAT. Checking the phone, make sure. We had some connection problems last week, so I'm hyper aware of it. Kick. Vargas is up and good. This time he corrected for the wind and got a little help too. Went right down the middle after the kick to the right. And we're about 3 minutes, 40 seconds into the second quarter. Dixie already with 4 TDs on the board. We will be back right after this. We really appreciate all our sponsors here. High school broadcasts on KDXU. Andy and Carrick with you. This one is returnable. Ball taken right at the 2-yard line. And, boy, he looked up. At first it looked like there was going to be a hole. And then the return man looked to the right, and there were all blue jerseys. Would have taken a Houdini to get around those guys. And Dixie makes a stop inside the 20.
Yeah, that's one of those. That's Braxton Linville on the return. And that's one of those, like you said, you catch the ball, you see the hole, and then you start running. You say, where'd it go?
Yeah.
Where'd it go? What happened?
Great coverage by this Dixie special teams, and Pineview with a long field of 81 yards in front of it. As Rosenlund stays in at quarterback, they've got 2 backs with him in the backfield. And they give it to the back guy, and he's got room. It's a first down run right up the gut. I believe Sanchez on the carry. It was 26. Sarasanti was kind of the decoy on that one.
Gilly Sanchez right up the middle.
Pickup of about 14 yards out to the 33. Pineview in desperate need of a score on this drive, down now by 20 points. As Rosenlund and 2 running back with twins to the right side. Gives to the running back, and Sanchez again, this time a modest gain, although he does get it across the 35 to the 37.
Tackle made that time by Trevin Aldridge. One of the best in Region 10 is Aldridge.
Crimson Cliffs again down 13-0 at home. We kind of put them in as a favorite once Noah Fuialatolo got hurt at Desert Hills. And Crimson right now not representing. They're down by 13 to Snow Canyon. Warriors got a win last week at Cedar. Rosenlund to pass. Here comes the pressure. Now he'll roll to the right side. Now he'll throw deep over the middle. I think I saw another flag fly. I did. As that ball is tipped away and incomplete. It was kind of up for grabs anyway.
Yeah, one of the Pineview offensive linemen grabbed the jersey, pulled him in, and pancaked.
Yeah, that's not legal that way. You can pancake a guy, but not like that, not pulling him down. And the holding is called.
Yeah, you can see him throwing his hands up. He doesn't like it, but he pulled the jersey, brought him in, and then took him to the ground. It almost pinned him.
Spot foul in high school. That'll take it all the way back to the 25-yard line. The penalty results in about a 13-yard, maybe 14-yard loss. So it'll be second down and very, very long. Actually, about an 18-yard loss because he gained about 4 on the first play. So Pineview forced into a passing situation here. Let's see if they try a screen or something a little safer. Rosenlund back to pass. His receiver fell down, and now he's going to go down. With 3 Dixie defenders there. It looked like on the near side, maybe he was looking for one of his guys, but his guy slipped down on the black pellets, and that was it.
Yeah, once the receiver went down, Rosenlund was best just to tuck that ball in and hang on for dear life. Mason Kesterson got to him split second before the other 2 guys, and then they brought him down together for the sack.
Stuckey was the intended receiver, but as he made his cut to come back to the ball, his feet went out from under him. Now it's third and really long. They have to get out to the 43. Rosenlund to pass. Got time this time. Throws deep over the middle. Ball up for grabs and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Quincy Jones. Jones got fingers on it, but so did the defender, and the ball falls incomplete. And Pineview, what looked promising after a first down play, kind of ended in nothing as they look at fourth down.
The start of that drive, you're thinking Pineview's either got to score or at the minimum drive into Dixie territory, take 3 or 4 minutes off the clock. Now you look up, clock's not moving, 6:23 to go until halftime, and punt deep in your own territory again. And
Dixie has done a good job offensively of balance today. That was one of our keys, our Camping World keys. They have been able to throw the ball, thanks to Barbin mostly. And now they get the ball back again with a big lead. Punt is up in the air. High kick away from the receiving guy. Unfortunately for Pineview, they will barely get a first down. I mean, they're not going to get a first down, but the ball barely makes it past the first down marker at the 46.
Well, they got a bounce that spared them 5 or 6 yards. The ball hit and initially looked like it was coming straight back, but then it came back down to the turf and it went whoop, forward, and that's, almost to midfield.
I was going to try to take a 30-second break, but it looks like at this point Dixie is ready to go. So we're going to keep it right here as the Flyers take over in plus territory at the 46-yard line here at Walbrook Stadium.
Where's our red hat out there? We got to hold the game up and pay some bills here.
My brother, who's been in the TV business for a long time, he said it was always a purple hat. And because there's so many purple teams out there, they changed it to a red hat. But there's a lot of red teams out there, too. I don't know. First down and 10 now, ball at the 46. Christian goes right to left, and he's going to block for – no, the quarterback keeps it, and Schultz is fighting for yardage. He'll get about 2. Looked like they were going to run the sweep with Takao with Christian blocking out front, but the quarterback Schultz says, no, I'm going to keep this one. Maybe should have handed off.
Yeah, Schultz tried to take it up the middle, and he had to fight for the 1 yard he got.
Give him a yard and a half. Come on, Carrick, be generous. I don't know how stats are going to treat that one.
I mean, it still says 2nd and 8. I guess I give him 2.
I wouldn't go 2. I'd go yard and a half. Schultz, quick hitter to the right side. It's a wide receiver screen. It is caught. And a great spin move on the sideline will get him a first down. Making a catch was Watson, one of those Intermountain sports performance guys. And he showed his athleticism there, Carrick.
Well, let's give credit where credit is due as well. Even when he doesn't have the ball in his hands, to Cow out there making plays. He had a block out on the edge to seal that sideline for the receiver, and it springs him for a big first down.
I think we've got a hold, though, so bring it back. I don't see a flag still, but apparently there was one. And it was spot foul right at the 35, so it'll be out to the 45. It'll actually be the same play, second down and about 9 or 8. So Dixie gets a holding call, but they don't actually lose any yards. maybe one. Second down. 5:20 left, first half. 27-7 Dixie on top. Schultz has the ball dribbled to the ground. Now we should have another hold. He does get the pass away. And, boy, I'll tell you what, I thought the defender got tackled on that play. Great blitz for Pineview on the play by Caden Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson blew that play up. And like you said, the snap was right at Schultz's feet. He had to pick it up and just get rid of it.
Yeah, he did a good job of getting rid of the ball because I thought Nelson had the beat on him. But he gets away. 3rd down and 9, and Dixie in danger of having one of their drives stall. Hasn't happened yet in this game, and let's see if they can convert on 3rd and long. Wilkinson's stat line, by the way, Dixie now up to 244 yards. Pineview at 109. That's a lot of yards in the first half, 244. Schultz to pass. He rolls to the left side, looking, and he throws the ball underneath, and a nice tip away. Good defense by Pineview is trying to get it to Takao.
Preston Christensen there in coverage, and he was right there. Ball came, knocked it away, incomplete. And what's this? Dixie.
A punt team? I didn't think they had one.
What?
Yeah, they are going to punt the football on 4th down and 9 with a 20-point lead and 5 to go in the half. Probably a wise decision here, even though you want to go on the plus side of the 50. Pin Pineview deep. Trust your defense, right?
Well, the defense has done a good job through the first half, the last couple of drives. So I think they're safe to punt this one away and say, hey, we might have the ball back in a couple minutes again.
Vargas, who's been kicking mostly extra points, will punt it. Gets a kick away, a high punt. And he kicks away from the run back guy, and the ball will go out of bounds. Nice job by Bibby and Vargas as it goes out of bounds at about the 8-yard line.
What a punt. That ball landed at the 15, took a big hop, angled to the sideline, and it looked like it was going to catch the sideline and just roll on down inside the 5, but it did catch the sideline at about the 8.
Again, a Hearst Ace Hardware scoreboard. See if I can give you a couple of scores from 4A around the state. Desert Hills now a 20-0 lead on North Sanpete. Not a surprise there. Cedar has kicked a field goal, so second quarter score 3-0 Reds over the Hurricane Tigers. And we're ready to go. Looked like a run left side by Sanchez. Gets another first down, or close to it, about a 10-yard gain. A couple of other scores from 4A. Snow Canyon still up 13-0 on Crimson. And then from the other region, they start region play tonight. Skyview 7-3 over Logan. It is Ridgeline 3-0 over Mountain Crest. And Green Canyon, who has struggled mightily on offense, they already have 14 points in the first half and a 7-point lead on Bear River. They do give them the first down, 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. Schultz with the handoff. Sears Sansi picking his way through, and will get it across the 20 to the 24. Ball comes out late, but that's no fumble, says the official.
Yeah, play was blown dead already. You can always judge the reaction from the ball carrier. Yeah. He kind of just watches the ball roll away. He says, that's no big deal. I know I'm down.
Trevin Aldridge, who leads the team in tackles, with the tackle on that one, but a gain of about 6 or 7 yards. 2nd down for Pineview. Trying to get something else on the board here. Dixie shows blitz. Here it comes. Rosenlund got to get rid of it. He gets rid of it underneath. Costa on the catch, and a gain of about 5 yards and another first down.
A great route, great snag by Costa across the middle. Reached out, snared it in, picked up the first down before he brought down.
Just a crossing pattern. Those are so hard to defend. You almost have to anticipate it, because once that receiver runs across the line of scrimmage and straight across the field, it's hard to catch up with a speedy receiver. So the gain is 5. 1st down and 10. 3:30 left in the half. Pineview throwing the ball around a little bit. Send a man in motion. Rosenlund wants to throw. Looking. Nobody open. Now he tucks it down, and he turns and throws, and the ball is low and incomplete. That time he looked like he was going to run, Carrick, and then at the last second he squared up and threw it, but couldn't get anything on it.
The last second, he saw Blake Stuckey breaking toward the far sideline, and that ball may have been tipped, or his arm may have been hit as he was going forward, because he spiked that thing right at the feet.
Yeah, it was. If it wasn't tipped, then it was a very good throw. So we'll say it was tipped. How about that?
Let's go with it.
2nd down and 10 from the 34. From the 29. Stuckey with the keeper right up the middle, breaks a tackle, has a first down to the 40. Stood up there, but not until he has a first down right at the 40-yard line. Nice quick move by that quarterback.
Yeah, Rosenlund knew he wanted to take it right from the get-go, picked up the first down, and a big hit delivered by Blake Watson for the Flyers, or he may still be running.
Ball right to just about 3 inches from the 40-yard line. Pick up on that one of about 13 or 14. Pineview on the move. First down and 10. A Fabulous Freddy's first down. Rosenlund to pass again. Looking, a lot of time, great blocking. Now Rosenlund throws it, but there's a flag down, and the ball is picked off by Dixie at the 45-40, 35-30. They try the run back along the sideline. That might be a pick six. It is, and then we think the flag is probably going to be a holding on Pineview.
And guess who?
Got to be Takao.
Seth Takao. Offense, defense, doesn't matter. The penalty is going to be a hold. It was the right tackle on the right edge. Was just hanging on for dear life on the blue jersey. Rosenlund said, well, I just got to get rid of it now, and unfortunately threw it up for grabs, and there goes Takao the other way for 6.
About a 55-yard return for Seth Takao, and Dixie now leads it by 26 points with the extra point pending. Wow. That was the last thing Pineview needed as they're moving the ball. It was a pick, and then to maybe add insult to injury, a pick six. Bibby and Vargas on to try the extra point to try to make it 34-7 with 2:37 to go in the half. The extra point looks good. It is good. We'll take the break. On our We Win Injury Loss scoreboard, Flyers romping at home. We're in the first half. They lead it 34-7. Welcome back. The kickoff by Vargas goes deep into the end zone for a touchback, but Dixie scoring every way, passing, running, and now defense, Carrick.
And it's Seth Takao. I mean, it's your guys. You want to talk about your Star Watch brought to you by Intermountain Sports Performance. It's Takao. It's Christian. Takao's got 3 touchdowns tonight now. Christian's got 2 touchdowns. Barban's making catches like you would expect him to. You got your guys on defense, Aldridge and company, tearing it up on defense, and you just go back to the Star Watch, and that's who's making the difference for the Flyers tonight.
Panthers licking their wounds, down now by 27 after giving up a defensive score to Dixie, and they'll start at their own 20. We're going to get the coach visor on, Carrick here. Are you happy? Not happy, but are you okay with going down only 27, or do you try to throw it? Well, the answer. Deep ball over the middle. Caught by Costa at the 45. Beautiful ball by Rosenlund. And it'll be a gain of about 31 yards right up the middle on the post pattern.
Question asked and answered, right, Andy? I mean, I think you're down that much already. You got to try to punch one in before halftime.
So they go no huddle. Rosenlund at quarterback. We have not seen Tyler Brown in this game. First down and 10. They do mark him right at midfield, so a gain of 30 with 2:12 left in the half. Pineview going no huddle. Trying to maybe a little two-minute drill. Here comes a blitz for Dixie. Rosenlund steps away from it, throws it over the middle. The ball, just a little too far for his intended receiver. Costa, I believe, was the intended
guy. It almost looked like the same exact play. And, credit Rosenlund for hanging in there. There was 3 or 4 blue jerseys flying through the line, and he stepped up, delivered a throw just barely off the mark.
Yeah, and let's credit the Pineview O-line, right? They picked up the blitz, gave him time. Second down and 10. Trips to the right side now for Rosenlund. Back to pass, throws a little flipper out there to the running back who dropped it. I think it was a backwards pass, a lateral. Do they call incomplete?
They blew it dead immediately, but he had to spin around. That I think that went backwards.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
The ball rolled out of bounds, so I don't think the Flyers would have been able to get to it.
It should have been a loss of 10 instead of an incomplete
they
pass.
blew that dead immediately.
So the ball will go back to the 50, but now a big third down for Pineview with 1:55 on the clock. The down and distance matter more than the time at this moment. As they go 2 wideouts, 3 wideouts to the right side for Rosenlund. And the quarterback back to pass. Looks over the middle. Ball is caught right at the marker. Good lean by the receiver to get that first down. And that was Harris, I believe, on the catch.
Yeah, Harris. Rock Harris on the catch. The freshman that we found out last week. 6'5"
Wow.
freshman. First time we've called his name tonight.
Now, I'm 6'5" now, but I didn't get my growth until after high school. You imagine being 6'5" and being a freshman in high school. Unbelievable. First down and 10 now at the 39. Rosenlund back to pass. Feels a little pressure. Throws it underneath, and the ball is incomplete. Trying for Costa.
Yeah, he had Costa right in the middle of the field, and Rosenlund is on the run, but that's when he's going to go back to the huddle, and he said, "Hey, Matthew, that's my bad." He got rushed a little bit.
Yeah.
Threw it down at his feet.
And maybe, all things considered, with the clock and everything, minute and a half, that's not a bad play, an incomplete pass, because it would have been a very short gain, I think. So second down and 10 from the 39 of Dixie. And the Panthers are either going to have a false start or a timeout. Depends on what they got first. And I think that's weird. They're going to call offsides. Okay. Dixie jumped. Free 5 yards for the Panthers. 1:12 on the clock. Pineview trying to cut into a 27-point deficit against what's looking like a really good Dixie team. We maybe need to rewind and find out what happened in week 1. Is Springville that good? Because for them to beat Riverton, Palm Desert out of California, and now put 34 up in the first half on Pineview, this Dixie team is looking like maybe the team to beat in region.
And they've been waiting to get this offensive explosion, going. You look at Dixie, even 17 points in a win against Riverton, 24 on the road at Palm Desert.
Which is their high score, right?
And they're getting better and better. Now 34 before halftime against Pineview.
Second down and 5. Rosenlund to pass. Got plenty of time. Good blocking by the guys up front. Now Rosenlund will roam to the left. He'll run upfield. Try to get to the first down marker. We'll see where they spot him.
A heck of a job by the Pineview offensive line.
They're going to say he stepped out at the 34, so it's only going to be about a yard gain or maybe nothing.
The big guys were going up front for the Panthers to give Rosenlund that time. And that's unfortunate. They only get a yard out of the play.
Third down and a long 4 for Pineview, trying to get something before halftime. They're at the 34 of Dixie. Rosenlund, straight drop, looking left side. Now he'll scramble a little bit. Looking right side, he throws deep over the middle. It's a jump ball in the end zone, and it is incomplete. That one was just I'm going to throw it down there and let my guy try and go get it.
Caden Cooper, I believe, in coverage. There's 2 number 5s listed. One is a senior, one's a sophomore. Both defensive backs, so let's go with the senior.
So Pineview will face a 4th down and 5 at the 34 with 58 seconds left in the half. So if they don't get a first down, will probably be Pineview's last offensive play of the first half. Rosenlund to pass. Looking left side. Got a guy out there and made a bad throw. Wide open was Quincy Jones. I mean, there was no Dixie player within 5 yards of him, and Rosenlund just missed him. That one hurts, huh?
Had a couple of those throws on that drive that he's going to want back. And, boy, Pineview, for all the work that it did on that drive to come up empty, it's going to sting a little bit. And now you leave 54 seconds on the clock.
Do you? If you're Dixie up 27, do you try for something? Maybe, yeah. Pretty good field position at the 34. By the way, a couple score updates brought to you by Hearstace Hardware. Crimson has scored. It's 13-6 now in the second quarter. Snow Canyon leading at Crimson, and Cedar with a couple TDs. They lead 17-zip over Hurricane. And they run the fly sweep. Trying to get around the edge is the, I believe that was Takao.
I think that's Bennett.
18, not 16? No, not 18.
Might have been 19 on the carry. Takao came off the field.
It was 19, you're right.
Right before the play, and that's Lucido Bennett.
And he'll get 4, and the clock will continue to run. So Dixie, I think, pretty content now with a 27-point lead. See if they run it here again. We'll know for sure. 25 seconds. And they do run it. Christian left side to the sideline, and he'll run out of bounds after he gets a first down. So maybe you're going to run the ball, run the rest of the clock out, and then your guy runs out of bounds. And now with 54 yards to pay dirt, maybe you have to try one up top, huh?
Say, hey, let's take a shot. Clock going to stop at 20 seconds.
See if Barbin's tired. He's been running a lot of deep balls in this game. But watch number 13 on the far side. First down and 10 at the 46. Play action pass. They go rather to the left side, and it's man coverage out there, and the ball is too far. Little bumping, but no harm, no foul. Sir Sansi on the coverage. Stuckey, I believe, was the intended receiver.
And he had a step on him. And the ball
wasn't a great throw. Nope.
Just in front, and those are the kind you're all right with. You know, much better to overthrow him there than underthrow it and have it end up in the hands of the defensive back.
Good call. Dixie 34-7, 13 seconds left until halftime on a warm, kind of humid night here at Walbrook Stadium. Quarterback wants to throw. Now looking for a screen to the left side. The ball is caught by Christian. Christian, a lot of room to the 40, to the 35, down to the 33-yard line, and out of bounds or a timeout. I'm not sure which, but they will stop the clock. With 1 second to go in the half.
1 second left.
You might as well take a shot here. There is a timeout on the field. We'll take a quick break. It's 34-7. Dixie has 1 second to score. Got a score update. Carrick Segmiller will let us know on our Hersey's Hardware scoreboard. What did you just find out, Carrick?
Still Barbin to Tyler West, and Crimson Cliffs has tied it up 13-13. 16 seconds to go before halftime.
Ooh, right before the half, huh?
At Crimson Cliffs.
Big score for the Mustangs. And we saw how good the Crimson defense is. And quite frankly, Snow Canyon has struggled on offense. And then you take Hunter Johnson out of the equation. I don't know if he must be hurt is the only thing I can figure. I don't know that Snow Canyon will score again. It's going to be tough for them to get points now that game is tied at 13 at half.
They did put 4 seconds back on the clock, so you got 5 seconds on the clock. Either way, probably the last play.
And Coach Bonker says, you know what, let's talk it over again. Let's go ahead and take a full timeout. We'll be right back. They took a short timeout and then tried a field goal, did the Dixie Flyers. Bibiano Vargas looked like he hit that one very hard. The problem is a Pineview player also hit it very hard, and lucky for Dixie. Carrick, I'm a big guy. I'm the kind of guy, if you're a big guy, if you weigh more than 200 pounds, you need to fall on the football, right?
Yeah,
in high school.
But
all those little guys with all the speed were like, don't fall on the football. Let me pick it up and run.
Let's go.
Yeah, but a Pineview big guy fell on the football, and that will end the first half. But I could see Sir Sansi and some of those speedy guys going, no, let me pick it.
Pick that ball up and let's go. Don't just fall on that thing. And, I was interested to see what was going to happen there because we saw Bibiano hitting from about that far in pregame warm-ups and then, put a good foot to it. But like you said, Pineview there to block it away.
He hit one in pregame warm-ups. The ball was set at the 35, and he cleared the bar. That's 45. He cleared the ball by 10 or 15 yards. So I know he's got the leg, but again, you got to block for him. You can't let that ball be tipped. So Pineview with a little bit of positive momentum with a blocked field goal at the end of the first half, and the Panthers will go into the halftime down by 27 points. Dixie's offense, they'd only scored 24 in any single game this year. They've got 34 at the half. We'll take a break. Let's see, Ken back in studio. If you could give us a couple of minute break here, we'll be back with the Info West halftime after this. Hey, thanks for joining us, Andy and Carrick, live from Walbrook Stadium, where Dixie has put on an offensive exhibition. The Dixie Flyers in the first half of this game, and by the way, this is the Info West halftime report, have 277 yards of offense. I mean, I'm no rocket scientist, but if you double that, they're going to have 550 yards or so of offense, and actually we'll probably see maybe after three quarters a younger lineup come in and won't have that many yards. But Dixie's offense has been very, very good, Carrick.
Very efficient. I mean, 277 yards and 34 points. They've only had the ball for 8.5 minutes. I mean, they have scored with efficiency, moved up and down the field. And, you mentioned my preview story that I wrote for the website, for social media going into the game this week. And, I mentioned that this could be the week that we see the Flyers get that offensive explosion that we have become accustomed to over the years, and they've gotten better each week, and now you put it all together, and you're 34-7 at the half, and you said it. I'll just repeat it. You think you're looking at a team that is right up there in the discussion for region favorites.
Dixie scored, like you said, 34 points in the first half. They have not trailed. They went ahead 7-0 early on a pass from Jalen Schultz to Seth Takau over the middle for 15 yards. Pineview looked like they were game. They came right back and scored. Abe Rosenlund finds Quincy Jones from 8 yards out to make it a 7-7 game. That was about 7.5 minutes into the game, but the rest of the half belonged to the boys in blue and white as Dixie goes up 13-7 on a Jeff Christian touchdown run from short yardage. And then that's how the first quarter ended. Early second quarter, Takau with a touchdown run made it 20-7, followed by another Christian touchdown of 18 yards, made it 27-7. And then with 2:37 left in the half, Rosenlund throws a pick six at, guess who? Seth Takau ran back about 55 yards or so for a touchdown. And that's where we sit right now, 34-7. We'll go over again some Wilkinson team stats in a minute, but your reaction, especially the 27-7, Pineview goes down and scores. We got maybe a game, but that pick six, man, that was crucial.
Well, and it was a tough one because there was a flag thrown early. And I know when you're involved in the play, you don't necessarily see that flag come out, but there was an obvious holding penalty and a flag thrown early. You know, that play's coming back no matter what, unless you throw an interception. And, you know, he threw it down the field and into traffic. You can't blame him. He's trying to make a play, trying to get something going for his team. But, boy, did that swing the momentum. And, you know, this is a Pineview team. They scored to tie it at 7-7, and that was a heck of a drive. You know, it was a healthy dose of Rosenland on the ground, of Sanchez on the ground. Quincy Jones made that 3 or 4 amazing catches on that drive, and you thought they're going to match Dixie, you know, stride for stride here. And the Flyers said, nope, we're going to turn you away, and 34-7. Now the question is, you know, how does Pineview respond at the half? You know, you come out, punch a couple in and make this thing a football game, or is Dixie going to continue to run away with this thing in the second half?
Again, halftime brought to you by InfoWest, the internet people. For the fastest internet in southern Utah, go to InfoWest.com. More Wilkinson stats when we come back. It's 34-7 Flyers. Hey, that was a pretty good kick. They're doing a little kick promotion at halftime, and some dude, I don't know who it was, but he just kicked it from about 40 yards away. It was plenty long enough. I think he might have missed wide left, Carrick, but I love these kick promotions. They're fun.
He's wearing a Dixie jersey.
Yeah, I don't know, JV kid maybe?
Or not suited up in pads.
Just a fan, I don't know. Another kick. Boy. Again, plenty of leg, and if it goes through, it's good.
I think he got it.
Yeah. Wow. One thing, you know.
Where'd he come from?
One thing I never was good at was place kicking. Yeah, I was okay, you know, but I could make an extra point. But I couldn't, you know, anything beyond 30 yards, there's no chance. And, you got a number on that guy?
Well, I thought I did, but then I was looking at the wrong roster.
Let's continue our InfoWest halftime report. Let's talk about stats now. Team stats, first of all. Dixie with 277 yards. And by the way, thanks to Colby Nielsen, bags down the row from us here for keeping stats in this game. Dixie 277. Pineview not bad, 182, Carrick. How do you interpret those stats considering the disparity in the score?
Well, you know, you had the first drive of the football game, and you had 75 yards on that drive. They moved down to about the 35-yard line another time and had to punt the ball away, and have moved the ball just a little bit. So you had the long scoring drive, one where they came up empty-handed and they've kind of moved the ball a little bit, and almost like last week. They've done some okay things with the ball. The players have made good plays, and They just haven't been able to get over that hump to be able to get in and find the end zone again.
And if we go back to our keys to the game, Camping World keys, balance for Dixie offensively, well, guess what? They have 134 rushing yards, 143 passing yards. That's balance. The other one was Pineview turnovers, and that pick six, really, I mean, I know Dixie was already winning by 20, but if Pineview goes down and makes it 27-14, we got a game. Instead, Takao with the pick six, 55-yard return, and that turnover was huge. So,
yeah, can't overstate the significance and the importance of that pick six. And you look at it, it's already a 20-point game, but still, it's a backbreaker is what that is going into halftime.
Individual stats now for Pineview, again brought to you by Wilkinson's, a unique place to shop with lights, fixtures, and fans, and much more. Wilkinson's located across from Fiesta Fun here in St. George. Rosenlund for Pineview, 9 of 21 passing, 91 yards, 1 touchdown in that very, very crucial pick six. Running the ball, Gilly Sanchez, 7 carries, 45 yards, 8 for 34 for the quarterback Rosenlund, and Jacob Searsansi with 3 carries for 12 yards. Not bad moving the ball on the ground. Receiving, Matt Costa, 3 for 40. It was Quincy Jones with the touchdown catch. He has 4 catches, 34 yards, and then 1 grab each by Brock Harris and Blake Stuckey in the game. Statistically, offensively, Pineview's not bad, really.
No, they've got some talented players out there on the field, and they just got to put it all together. And it's something that it's going to happen. It will happen. This team, and you're not going to be able to come into any matchup with Pineview and just say, oh, it's they're 0-3 or whatever it may be this week. It's going to happen, and you just pray that it's not against your team when it does happen. But they've just got to string 3.5, 4 solid quarters together.
Individually on the Wilkinson stat line for Dixie, quarterback Jalen Schultz, 5 of 9 passing, 143, and a touchdown. And running the ball, let's see, Christian, 6 carries, 56 yards, 2 scores. Good fantasy day for him. How about Seth Takao? 4 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown. He also has 1 catch, 15 yards, and a touchdown. And on defensively, he has an interception and a return to 55 yards and a touchdown. That's a pretty good day right there. Huh?
I was going to say, you just said good fantasy day for Christian right there. How about Seth Takao scoring the football every possible way? And I just go back to that conversation we were having before the game when you said, what does Seth Takao bring to this team, even though he's not, your starting quarterback. He's not under center. He's not in the shotgun. Well, there you go. He brings 3 touchdowns to your team, 2 on offense, 1 on defense, and and maybe I've just had blinders on the offensive side, but I wasn't even expecting him to make a play defensively, and he came out and he showed me.
I think I look at it this way, Carrick. Take Seth Takao off the field. And how good is Dixie? They're probably still winning this game, but they're not winning it by 27 points.
Well, and we've pointed out over the last couple of weeks that, Dixie, big loss to Springville. Springville is really good. One of the best teams you're going to play all year. Riverton, tough team. You win 17-13. Your defense is huge in that game. You do just enough to win the football game. And then at Palm Desert in California, great football team down there, and you win 24-14. But at least one of those games, even in those wins, it may have been both, Takao didn't play. So you're looking at not having one of your main weapons out on the field. So maybe the offensive explosion comes sooner if you've got your athlete out there on the field.
And we cannot forget about Jackson Barbin either. He had 2 deep balls, 2 catches, 99 yards. Unfortunately for him, he got pulled down at the half-yard line on one of those. Otherwise, he'd have himself a score. But
he's saying to Jeff Christian, "Hey, you owe me one of those touchdowns.
That's
that
right.
1-yard touchdown
That's
run,
right.
That's mine because I caught the ball and I rolled over the defender into the end zone."
We'll take a final timeout. When we come back, we'll give you a couple scores, and we'll have the second half here from Walt Brooks Stadium. It's the InfoWest halftime report. We'll be right back. Pineview watches the ball go into the end zone. They'll start at their own 20 to start the second half. Some scores for you, brought to you by Hearstace Hardware. Desert Hills 27-zip over North San Pete. Out of region play. They lead big at the half. Let's see, other region 10 scores. Snow Canyon Crimson Tide at 13 at the half. And Cedar up 24-0 on the Hurricane Tigers. The Tigers get their first region win in a while. And it looks like they're getting their first region loss in not a long time. So
they looked really good last week, and I didn't see this game against Cedar happening like that.
We'll give you some other 4A scores in a minute, but Pineview will start with the football as they hand off on the very first play of the second half, and it's a nice carry from Sanchez out across the, out to near the 30-yard line. Let's see, they'll spot him, at the 26. They spot him down at the 26, second down and 4. Panthers, again, imperative they get a score to start the second half. Bad snap. Rosenlund somehow got a hold of it, but then he is plowed under by a sea of blue, and it'll be a loss on the play of maybe what they gained on first down. And that was just a situation where the ball was snapped at his ankles.
Aldridge, Dombrowski in there for Dixie. They were, smelling blood. The ball was on the ground. Couldn't get to it, but get a big loss.
So now instead of 3rd and 4 or less, it's 3rd down and 9 with the loss on the play. And it looks like a passing situation for the Panthers. They send a man in motion. Stuckey, quarterback looking up the middle. He's got time. Now he'll roam to the left side, throw the ball, and it is complete. Down the left sideline for a first down and out of bounds. Not Harris on the catch, I think Stuckey on the catch. Let me check.
Blake Stuckey.
Yeah, number 10 on the grab. Did a good job of, again, good blocking by the Pineview line, and that gave receivers time to make a second and third move, and Stuckey got open, first down.
When Rosenlund able to scramble over to the side and find Stuckey and gets rid of it. Big first down for Pineview. Cannot overstate how big that first down is.
Ball out to the 43, first down and 10. 2 backs now with Rosenlund. And he gives to Sanchez, and Sanchez is pancaked, but not until he's gained about 3 yards.
And Sanchez had a full head of steam. He ran into the back of his own guy, the lead blocker, got out there in front. Sanchez tried to make a move and ran right into the back of his own offensive lineman.
A couple of other scores from 4A around the state in Region 11. Green Canyon 21-7 over Bear River in the third quarter. Logan and Skyview were tied at 10, and it was Ridgeline up 11-0 in their ball game. Rosenlund, lots of time, but the ball is short and incomplete. Ridgeline beating Mountain Crest, by the way, 11-0. They had a field goal in the second quarter and a touchdown and 2-point conversion in the third quarter.
11-0. Don't hear that score very often in football.
You don't see that in football, no. So the incomplete pass will bring up a third down and about 7 for the Panthers. Again, you and I surprised that Brown didn't get the start and that, in fact, he hasn't played a single down in this game. It's Rosenlund at quarterback on 3rd and 7. Back to pass. Looking. Here comes the pressure. Gets away from one guy, but not the second wave. And down goes Rosenlund. And you talked about how big that first down was. They kind of needed a second one because now they're going to have to punt.
Yeah, needed to extend the drive. But this Dixie secondary has been up to the task tonight. It's set the cow out there and among other guys just locking down those Pineview receivers. And, Rosenlund has time, but not all the time in the world, and eventually the pocket collapsed.
A little coverage sack probably. Now it's 4th down and 12. Punt team on. Snap a little low. Punter gets it and pops it up into the air. Pretty good kick this time. But Dixie does have return on Barban trying to get outside. Breaks one tackle. Now he gets to the outside, and he's room to roam to the 35-40 and finally run out of bounds at the 45-yard line. How about Jackson Barban, though? Wow.
What a return. Barban made the catch over his shoulder, stumbled, looked like he was going to fall to the ground. Somebody had him around the foot, and you thought he's going to lose a yard or two on the return, and somehow gets out near midfield.
All the way out to the 48, estimate, about an 18-yard return for Jackson Barban. And Dixie now with a chance to turn this thing. If it's not a blowout yet, they've got a chance right now to turn it into a blowout with the ball near midfield, and the offense having been very, very good today. It will be Schultz again at QB. Christian is next to him to his right with a couple of receivers to the right side. He looks to that side. No, instead throws to the left, and the pass is incomplete. Trying to pick it up off the ground was the intended receiver for Dixie. That was number 7.
Bartsky.
I looked at it. I'm like, it's not Bartsky. I know there's a K in there somewhere. Bartsky. But referee blew it dead right away. Said it grazed the ground. Second down and 10.
Probably would have been dead either way. Bartsky had one knee on the ground when he went to catch it.
Schultz stays in at Q. 9:23 to go third quarter. Dixie trying to put this thing away with the TD drive here. Schultz to pass. Quick hitter to the right side. And this one, I think, is incomplete as well. Or if it was complete, it's no gain.
When Schultz not happy with himself, he knows he missed his guy. And he had Caden Nilsson breathing down his neck, but still got the ball away and just missed him.
He was trying for Barbin on the little jailbreak screen to the wide end, to the wide receiver coming back toward the middle. If I'm a wide receiver and they want me to catch a screen in amongst all those big guys, I'm like, can we not run this play? Doesn't matter. It was incomplete, third down. Schultz, the quarterback. Christian stays in at running back on third down and long. Schultz straight drop. Looking down the middle, wants to throw the ball deep. Has a guy wide open, and that's going to be an easy touchdown. Holy smokes. Where's the defense, Carrick?
David Bartsky got past the defense, almost unnoticed.
Yeah.
Had to wait a little bit, but that ball put right on the money by Jalen Schultz. And Dixie saying, hey, we hear you guys. We hear your keys to the game. We need more balance. Let's open this thing up, and let's throw it a little bit.
Now they've got more passing than rushing, and that's a Blaine Monkers type team. Bibby and Vargas out to try the extra point to make it 41 if he can hit it. Waiting for the snap. It's down. The kick is up, and it is good, and we'll take the break. Dixie has busted this thing wide open with a touchdown, a long pass from Schultz to Barsky. It's 41-7 on our We Win Injuries scoreboard. Yeah, thanks to Camping World. All our great sponsors really here on KDXU. They include Fabulous Freddy's, Intermountain Sports Medicine, and Nets on Fire. Kickoff a little shorter. Nope, it does go into the end zone, so no run back. And Pineview will try to cut into a very large deficit now, down 41-7. And how did he get that out? It looked like just a straight fly, and he outran everybody.
It somehow ended up behind all the white jerseys and made the catch and danced into the end zone. Just like that, it's 41-7.
Dixie now with 328 offensive yards in this game. And they also have a defensive touchdown as well. And Pineview looking for some answers now. They're 0-3. Had a bye week. Trying to find a win, and then doesn't look like they're going to get one today. Handoff. Kind of a inside run by Sanchez, and I think Dixie, if you want to run for 8, of course they got 12 that time, but if you want to run for 6-8 yards down 41-7, I think Dixie's okay with that.
When Gilly Sanchez has been one of the bright spots for Pineview tonight, his 10th carry of the game, that'll take him over 60 yards rushing.
Not bad. This time Rosenlund on the keeper. He ducks into what turned out to be a pile of a couple of blue jerseys, 3 blue jerseys. And he'll lose about 2, maybe 3 yards.
Had a quick decision to make. Give it to Sanchez or keep it up the middle, and he kept it and was met with the sea of blue jerseys.
Yeah, I've got Sanchez 10 for 67 yards. Rosenlund in the game. Let's see what we have for him. He has rushed for 24 yards on 10 carries. Second down and 12. Rosenlund, play action pass. He's got a crossing pattern, nothing there. Now he's running for his life. He squares up and throws it deep. Little jump ball out there, and it's incomplete. Tried to find Costa, but 2 defenders there.
Yeah, Caden Cooper, the main defensive back, stride for stride with Costa. Kesterson was coming over to help out.
And that'll make it 3rd down and 12 for Pineview. And again, the offense needs some consistency right now. Pineview has been able to move the ball somewhat in this game. Right now they're sitting with 214 offensive yards. But a big 3rd down here, 3rd down and 12. Rosenlund straight drop, gets a nice block from his running back, throws deep over the middle, and oh man, he had Costa on a post by 2 or 3 yards, and he just threw it too far.
Got a flag on the play near side, but Costa was behind everybody.
Yeah.
Could have done his best David Bartsky impression there if the throw would have been on the money.
I think we're going to have it ineligible downfield anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. And Coach Monkers says, you know what, 4th down and 12, we'll decline a penalty. So that'll bring up 4th down, and Pineview presumably will bring the punt team out, and here it comes. Again, score updates from over at Crimson Cliffs in Washington City. That is the only, by the way, everybody thinks Pineview is in Washington. Technically, Pineview is in St. George. Crimson, the only high school in Washington City. And the Mustangs and the Warriors, I have them tied now about 5 minutes into the second half at 13. 4th down and 12. High snap, but the punter has it, gets the kick away. It's high, and a fair catch called for and taken by Barbin at the 45 of Dixie.
Tyson Dinsmore there for Pineview to put a little pressure on Barbin. That he better catch this thing or I'm right here ready to scoop it up. And Barbin catches it cleanly. 1st down for Dixie.
Short punt, only maybe 25 yards, but no return. And good coverage. And that always, as a return guy, it's got to make you nervous knowing there's 2 or 3 guys staring at you. Good job by Barbin to secure it as he went down on one knee to make the catch. 1st down and 10 Flyers. And a handoff right side Christian as Dixie tries to run some clock. Christian cuts inbounds, stays inside the field of play, and will gain about 9 yards. Do you, if you're Coach Monkers, do you take your foot off the gas at a certain point? Maybe start putting in some younger guys and maybe start trying to run the ball?
Yeah.
Tell your guys to stay in bounds, that kind of thing?
Yeah, keep this clock running. I mean, they score one more time. I think the clock's going to be running the rest of the game anyway.
That's right. We're just under the mercy rule law at 34 points. It's 35 in high school. Could have had a mercy rule last night in the Bills-Rams game, by the way, 31-10. And it looks like maybe an offsides, or did somebody move?
I think we had movement. Yep,
you're right.
Well, how many times did Buffalo turn the ball over last night, and they still won 31-10?
Yeah. I tell you, on a night, if you're a Rams fan, the night you're going to raise the championship banner up at SoFi Stadium to get just kind of boat raced like they did is not not what you had in mind.
Offensive line does not look good through week 1 for a repeat.
2nd down now with the 5-yard penalty, 2nd and 6. And maybe they get the 5 back. Did someone move?
Look at that foot on the near side. Is he in the neutral zone? Or is it going against Dixie?
They're calling Dixie again.
Yeah.
So somebody moved. 2nd down and 11. You got to figure at 41-7 we might have a new lineman or 2 in the game, and that could be the issue.
Could be. And, back to that you asked me a couple minutes ago. You mentioned even at halftime, maybe you get through the 3rd quarter, start putting some of your younger guys in.
So to 2nd down, it was 2nd and 1. Now 2 false starts, and it's 2nd and 11. Halfway through the 3rd, it's all Dixie. And the ball to Christian trying to get outside to the left side. Shows his speed, and a nice block. And the guy that was blocked, as he's run out of bounds after about a 12-yard gain, says that was an illegal block. I got hit in the back. Referee didn't throw a flag, so I guess not.
Yeah, great block from Lucido Bennett. And he's a guy that's in there in place of Seth Takau. There's one guy you haven't seen in an offense yet this half for Dixie. It's Takau. He's playing defensively in the secondary, but you got a similar build in Lucido Bennett. He's got speed, and you can do almost the same things with him. He's a sophomore.
Referee will usually look at the helmet. If the helmet is in front of the shoulder pads, it's a legal block. If it's behind the shoulder pads, it's an illegal block, and that was very close. 50-50 call. Christian again up the middle. Pineview stacks him up at a gain of a couple.
Christian's still in there. Every play, just taking his licks. This one up the middle for a couple.
Check out other scores from 4A football. We'll give you those updates here in a minute. Brought to you by Hearst Ace Hardware. And again, for Region 10, Desert Hills 30-0 now over North Sanpete, playing down a class, the 3A Hawks. And it's all Thunder. Now the quarterback wants to keep. Schultz trying to get outside, and maybe with a low snap, he wanted to hand that one off on the fly sweep, but didn't matter because with the low snap, it was too late, and he'll lose yardage.
Tiancum Jensen sniffed the play out first, and he got to Schultz, held him up, and the cavalry came in.
They're down on 11 now. Other 4A scores, Ridgeline 18-0 now over Mountain Crest. You've got Green Canyon leading Bear River. It's 21-14 now. Skyview over Logan 16-10, and Cedar, last we heard, was 24-0 over Hurricane. And now 3rd down and 11. Dixie out near midfield with 5 minutes left in the third. Send a man in motion, hand to Christian, right side, tries to get around the corner, has a first down and more. Great run by Jeff Christian, and Dixie keeps the drive alive at the 30.
And Christian bounces outside. You think, oh, he's got a couple of white jerseys there he's going to have to work through, and then, boom, like Swiss cheese, just runs right through.
I think if I were to ask what the difference between Christian last year and this year is, I think it might be speed. I mean, he has that.
He's got a burst this year. I'm not sure we saw last year.
First down and 10. Ball at about the 29. It's a quarterback, looks to the sideline, gets the Oklahoma or the Kansas or whatever the call is. Schultz gets a snap. He's going to throw. Looks deep right side, got a guy open, and an easy touchdown again. Dixie running away with this thing. A wide open touchdown pass, and yeah, that was maybe a little too. Bartsky again.
Yeah, David Bartsky. And where was he in the first half? Sit Bartsky out there, and he's got 2 touchdown catches in the third quarter, and wow, Jalen Schultz took a lick on that throw, but he hung in there, fired it down the field for a strike and a touchdown. And those are the kind of hits that maybe if you're Coach Monkers, you're saying, okay, we got another touchdown, 4:25 to go in the third. Okay, Jalen, your day might be done.
That might be it, yep. 4:25 left as the extra point. Vargas comes on to kick it. It is up, and it is perfect, and we'll take the timeout. 4:25 left in the third quarter, and Dixie, boy, they are rolling. Flyers 48-7 on our We Win Injury Loss scoreboard. We'll be right back. I got a line for you on Bartsky in this game. 2 catches, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's a pretty good line, huh?
40.5 yards per catch.
20 fantasy points, too, if you want to go there.
Yeah, we talked about how efficient this Dixie offense was at halftime, and now Bartsky is the epitome of efficiency out there. Him and Jalen Schultz hooking up twice now for the TD.
We were just, Raj Christensen comes over and says, what do you think of the kicker? Bibiano Vargas has been spectacular in this game, hasn't he?
Yeah, that wind died down a little bit.
Another touchback for him.
And he's saying, now we're good. I want that PAT miss back.
Pineview comes out. They run a little swing pass out there. It is caught, and I think the ball came loose. They strip it away from Jones, and Dixie recovers at the 20-yard line.
Boy, from bad to worse for Pineview, and Tyler Brown had come out at quarterback for that possession and completed his first pass, and then the ball is stripped away, and here come the Flyers again.
It was a simple pass to the left side. I couldn't tell. I'll tell if I was 2 or 3, Jones or Costa, but one of them made the catch. But you could see Dixie going for the strip. As soon as he caught it, they went in, held him up, and started stripping at the football. It came out, and the turnover as the Flyers right at the cusp of the red zone. Ball right at the 20.3-yard line. And Schultz stays in at quarterback. Hands the ball on the jet sweep, trying to get to the corner. Different guy. He does get to the corner. Ball goes flying, but he was knocked out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. Who had that carry, Carrick?
That's Lucido Bennett.
Oh, yeah, 19.
And he's been in there. We mentioned him last drive. We haven't
Just
seen
a
Takao
sophomore.
offensively at this half, and probably won't. But, wow, you see the speed there. And that ball is knocked away only because Bennett's getting ready to reach out and try to hit the pylon with a football.
Jump, yeah.
No harm done.
Do you think that rule needs to be changed in football? If you fumble out of bounds, like in basketball, the other team should get the ball? What do you think? I think
certainly would change things.
I think it's a good rule change. And this time they go to Christian, and he has stood up. Great defensive play for Pineview. 46 on the hit.
Tiankim Jensen, third or fourth time we've called his name in the backfield, so a bright spot for this Pineview defense.
It'd be a loss on the play of about 5 yards, all the way back to the 10, second down and goal. Dixie 48, Pineview 7, and the ball at the 10-yard line. The carry was, that was Christian, right?
Christian.
Yeah, 21,
yep.
Christian carried on that one. Second down and goal. Schultz sends a man in motion. Now Pineview holds up the speedster and gets him from behind because he had nowhere to go.
And guess who on the tackle? Tiankim Jensen.
Yeah.
Number 46, the junior linebacker, having himself a game.
In high school, maybe more than any other higher level, setting the edge is so important because if you don't set the edge, those speedsters can get around the corner. That time, Pineview did a great job of setting the edge, and the running back had nowhere to go with the football. And when you got nowhere to go, you have to pause. You can't use your speed, and you're in big trouble. And on that play, again, who had the carry? Oh, it was Bennett again.
Bennett.
Had nowhere to go. Loss of 3. Third and goal from back at the 13. They give to Christian. He's got a convoy. Oh, he slipped down but somehow kept his feet. He did the limbo there on the play. Did not score. He got down inside the 10, and we're liable to see Bibiano Vargas in a field goal here, as it'll be fourth down and goal. But how did he stay on his feet? Wow.
I'm not sure how he did. Part of me wonders if he felt his backside touch the ground because he slipped, stood up, and kind of stopped almost for just a split second and thought, oh, I better keep going. There's no whistle. I
heard Harry Belafonte doing the limbo rock on that one because he went way back and used his hand to, I think, stay off the ground. So it'll be Bibiano Vargas for a field goal try. It should be a chip shot. If he can get it off, he does, and it's perfect. Great angle for us, and with 1:03 left in the third, it is now a 51-7 lead for Dixie. We'll take the timeout. Dixie winning it big on our We Win Injury Loss scoreboard, 51-7. Bibiano Vargas kicks it high and deep. It'll go into the end zone. In high school, that's an automatic touchback. And Pineview will again start at their own 20-yard line. Hearst State's Hardware scoreboard. We do have a touchdown in that Crimson Snow Canyon game in the second half. It is the Mustangs with a touchdown pass from Steele Barbin to Boston Adamson of 29 yards. Point after by Ty Ottenshot. It's 20-7. Crimson Cliffs leading Snow Canyon. Remember, the Warriors led that game 13-0.
Well, you want to talk about someone that's got some weapons. I mean, you've got Jordan Eaton, Boston Adamson, Tapolian running the ball.
Yeah. Barban doing a great job at QB this year. First down and 10. Ball at the 20. Quarterback wants to throw, and he's in trouble. It is Brown, and he'll run up the sideline and run out of bounds before he gets lit up. And let's see where they mark him out. He might have gained a yard or 2 or 3. So, again, that was in the third quarter of that game. It looks like about maybe 3:50 or so left in the third in that game over in Washington City. Crimson Cliffs by 7 over Snow Canyon. Dixie has a lot to say who is going to be the region champion.
Yeah.
That would be a definite leg up for the Mustangs if they can hold on. Brown back to pass. Ball is tipped, but caught. I thought somebody got a piece of it at the line. It doesn't matter because it went to Quincy Jones, and he'll have a first down out across the 40.
Well, Blake Watson was there all the way for Dixie, but it almost looked like Jones lost his footing for just a moment, and that might have frozen Watson just long enough for Jones to pop back up, make the catch, and get 5 or 6 more yards.
That should do it for the third quarter here, and it will. 3-2-1, and that'll end it. 3 in the books here at Walbrook Stadium. The Flyers are rolling 51-7 on our We Win Injury Loss scoreboard. Back with the final quarter after this. Thanks also to Dixie Chiropractic. Take a time out to Dixie Chiropractic with the most advanced technology and expertise in St. George and a proud sponsor of Region 10 Athletics. Dixie Chiro, 673-1443. And Carrick, we're not treated to a close game tonight, but we've seen, I think, a coming out party as far as Dixie and how good this team can be offensively. First down and 10, Pineview now. Tyler Brown at quarterback, throws over the middle, pass is complete. So Brown has looked pretty good. I think, what is he, 3 for 3 since coming into the game?
Well, now when he steps in, he said, hey, we're down by a bunch of points already, so no pressure here. He threaded the needle right between 3 blue jerseys on that throw right to his guy, Blake Stuckey.
Now into Dixie territory at the 45-yard line. You got to figure probably some younger guys in the game for Dixie, maybe a little bit easier throwing lanes, but definitely Brown has looked good. Now he's going deep right side. Got a man. It's man coverage. And the ball is caught inside the 10, down to the 5-yard line as Harris makes a beautiful grab with the defender all over him.
And that's your 6'5" freshman wide receiver. He's got a couple of catches. He's been targeted, I think, 3 times tonight. He's got catches on 2 of them. And what a catch that was. And let's not forget the throw. That throw was perfect, right on the money.
Gain all the way down to about the 7-yard line of Dixie and pick up 40-something yards on the play. Again, Brown looking good. We don't know if he's facing the number 1s right now, but certainly looking good. Now he's back to pass. Got time. Throws over the left side, and it's, I believe, picked off. It is. Dixie says thank you very much. A late flag comes in. And Dixie says we got the ball. We'll decline the holding if, in fact, it is a hold. The offense is running off the field for Pineview. It is a hold. And another turnover for Dixie. As good as we were praising Brown and how great he'd been playing, he threw that one right to a Dixie player.
He threw that one right to Braden Wilson, who's there for the interception. And now where did he end up down? Just about the 4 or 5-yard line. He caught the ball in the end zone and then stopped for just a minute, then brought it out. What was the number of the guy that caught the
number
pick?
6? Number 6.
Number 6,
okay.
Braden Wilson.
So Wilson brings it back out. Probably should have stayed in the end zone and taken a touchback. He does try to run it back, and he's corralled at the 5. So actually the worst field position by far for the Flyers all game long will be their own 5-yard line.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's been one big thing. Since Pineview scored to make it 7-7, I mean, that was the last time Dixie started, with more than a 50 or 60-yard field.
Do have a new running back in the game, 23. Schultz, though, the quarterback stays in there. And the running back, 23, gets who's 23 for us, Carrick?
That's going to be Silas Russell.
Russell with a short gain on just a simple, wasn't even a replay, it was just a handoff. And Russell gets a yard. And it'll be 2nd down and 9. Are you surprised Schultz has stayed in at QB?
Kind of am shocked to see him still in the football game.
And you know who's out there as well is number 16, Seth Takal.
Wow.
And Barbin still out of the wideout on the left side. A lot of starters still in the game for Dixie, even though they lead by 44 points. 2nd down and about 9. Schultz does hand it off. That's Russell again, and Russell's into the secondary. He's got a 1st down across the 20 and out to about the 25-yard line. Maybe you leave Schultz in the game because all he's going to do is hand off, huh?
You get a hand off, and, maybe at this point, Takal is just in there as a decoy.
Is there such thing as a decoy in football? I mean, he's blocking guys.
Yeah. No,
that's
he's out there blocking. Definitely not a decoy on that play, but you send him out on a route or run him in motion. He's certainly going to take a guy or two with him.
Gain is out to the 25, so about a 19-yard run by Russell. 1st down and 10, Dixie. Running the clock now, it'll be mercy rule. That means they'll restart it. Even if incomplete passes are out of bounds, they'll set the ball and restart the clock at 51-7. Schultz says, hey, I want a guy in motion. It is Takal, and Takal gets the carry. Left side, around the end, not really any room to roam except he got hemmed in by a defender and the sideline, and it'll be a short gain. They'll set the ball and restart the clock. As he got a yard, I think. Maybe not. No gain. Again, over at Crimson Cliffs High School, the Mustangs leading 20-13. That game, and I don't want to forget, Dixie has a lot to say on who's going to be region champs, but that game is certainly a step forward for the winner of that contest.
Circle your calendars for October 7th. Dixie will host Crimson Cliffs. There's a lot of football between now and then.
Yeah. Dixie again will keep the ball. Let's see. Was that the quarterback or did he hand it off?
I think it's Schultz.
Yeah, that was Jalen Schultz, your starting quarterback
I'm just saying,
in a 51-7 game carries.
I'm just saying, that's my quarterback. That's not who I want to see keeping the ball and having 2 or 3 guys end up on top of him. But that's why I'm up here and not down on the sideline.
By the way, Cedar has scored again 31-0. Reds over the Hurricane Tigers. That score surprises me a little. I thought Tigers would at least be in that game, but they're not.
I expected Cedar to have the edge, not that far.
Still 2013, Crimson over Snow Canyon, and Desert Hills out of region up 30-0. Swing pass is over the head of the intended receiver by Schultz as he tried to get it out there and incomplete. So the Flyers will punt for just the 2nd time in this game, which I guess actually gives us the privilege of seeing Mr. Vargas boot one.
His last punt, beautiful punt inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. Probably not going to get it this far this time, but
definitely a D1 kicker kind of guy. I don't know if he'll be relegated to punting or place kicking, but he is a guy, and every championship team I've seen in the last 20 years has had a decent kicker. You don't win close games without a good kicker. And look at that one. It's going to go over the head of the return man, and it may end up inside the 30 down to about the 20. Line of scrimmage was a 24, so that's going to be a 56-yard punt, no return.
And Bibiano just puts his head down and jogs off the field and kind of, wipes his hands of it and says, hey, my work's done here.
Let's see who gives him high fives. Well, everybody's giving him high fives as he comes off the field.
I mean, that's such a weapon. I mean, anytime you can flip the field.
Yeah, you're punting from your own 24, and they've got the ball back at their own 21. That's huge. 55-yard punt. 6:45 left. Pineview would love, for respectability's sake, to get the ball down the field and get a score. They stay with Tyler Brown at quarterback, and he's got time. Looking. Now he throws a swinger out there, but that is not going to work as Dixie sniffed out the little running back screen to Sanchez, and it'll be a loss of a couple.
That's one of your team leaders, Jacob Dombrowski, there to lay the big hit on Sanchez.
Clock rolling, 6:10 left. Dixie rolling 51-7. Flyers will go to 1-0 in region play unless something crazy happens. Pineview will drop to 0-2 in region and 0-4 overall. Dixie will be 3-1. Brown back to pass. Looks left side, nothing there. Now a scramble to the right side. He's going to run all the way. Gets across the 25 and slides down at the 28-yard line. A couple of yards short of the first down, but it'll be third down in about 2 or 3.
Yeah, they'll have third and manageable, and that's both Pineview quarterbacks can do that with their feet. You know, they're both mobile, can both run with it. Brown makes a good decision to slide and say, hey, we're going to have third and short. No need to take a huge hit just to try to get the first down.
Other 4A scores on our Hershey's Hardware scoreboard. Ridgeline now up 25-0 on Mountain Crest. Skyview a 3-point lead on Logan, 16-13. And Bear River and Green Canyon, the Wolves of Green Canyon up by 15, 29-14. As they start region tonight up there in region 11. Another little swing pass out there. This time it is caught, and that'll be a first down. And still fighting for yardage was the receiver on the play for Pineview. That was Costa. Matthew Costa gets it out to about the 35.
Costa made the catch, had a lot of work to do, though. Caught the ball a yard or two behind the line of scrimmage, and then at that point needed to get about 4 or 5 yards further down the field. He's able to fight his way down to move the sticks.
Over at Crimson Cliffs High School, it's 20-13 as the third quarter coming to a close. And down goes Pineview. Did the ball come loose there at the end?
Out. Did they rule it down on contact, or did it come out?
Well, Dixie's coming off with the football, and the referee agrees. So another turnover. What is that, 3 now in the game for Pineview?
And I lost the number of who laid that huge hit on Tyler Brown. Was just getting ready to say another coverage sack, and it was, and a forced fumble, and Dixie going the other way.
Junior D lineman Brian Cherry with the recovery. I don't know who made the hit, but he's the guy that came out of there with the pigskin. And another short field for the Flyers. They have one defensive touchdown, another turnover set up an offensive touchdown, and now they take over with the ball at about, 23?
23-yard line. It looks like Schultz still in at quarterback.
You and I would have pulled him, but again, we're not coaches.
Nope.
And I don't know they'll let him pass again. I believe it's Russell at running back. And looked like a couple of new wide receivers in the game as well.
We have Barbin here on the near side still, so keep an eye on him.
Hand the ball off, trying to get around the edge. They try to set the edge, force him to cut inside. And a pretty good job defensively for Pineview. There is a flag down.
3 flags on the field, 2 of them thrown almost immediately, and then one dropped toward the end of the play.
Lucino Bennett with the carry, the sophomore wideout. But there probably was a hold or 2 on that play, trying to get him free. With 4:12 left in the game, they'll have a little zebra huddle there. You bust it out every game. I always say when there's a zebra huddle, where's an alligator or crocodile when you need one, right? Here's the call. Holding on the offense. Actually, a foul called both ways, a personal foul called on Pineview as well. And so we'll just do the down over, Carrick. With 4:12 on the clock. They've gone, let's see, last play of the third quarter, still 20-13. Steele Barbin leading the Mustangs to a 7-point lead. Barbin's thrown for 262 and a couple of scores. So Dixie ball, 4 minutes left in this contest. Flyers have led just about all the way. Send a man in motion. And they hand it to the motion guy on a fly sweep, and Pineview covers that one pretty well. New carrier, I think, for the first time in the game.
That's Will Morby,
number 14. Morby with his first carry of the night. And the clock will continue to roll at 3:35 and counting.
The Flyer.
Only thing in question, Carrick, is the final score at this point.
Yeah, the final score, which gives us a chance to look ahead to next week. Dixie will host Desert Hills.
Ooh.
And, you know, I kind of like Desert Hills playing, you know, it's their region bye.
Yeah.
And you fill the region bye, and you get to go down and score a ton of points, get some frustration maybe out of your system, and come back and then play Dixie on the road.
2nd down and 9 after the short gain by Morby. Now Schultz hands off to the running back. Was that Russell on the carry?
Silas Russell.
He gets about 7 yards just over the left tackle. And the clock will continue to run with 2:55 left and counting. And Dixie, I think, if they can get a first down, could pretty much kneel this thing out.
Hurricane will be at Snow Canyon next week. The Tigers are going to have, speaking of frustration, some to try to get off their chests next week.
What's the third game?
Cedar at Pineview.
Ah. That might be a good one. I'm not sure which one we'll do here on KDXU. Pretty sure the Dixie game is going to be on ESPN. But we'll let you know early in the week. 3rd down and about 4 for the Flyers. 2:15 left, letting the clock run as long as they can. Schultz stays in at Q, hands off to Russell. Russell gets headed on at about the 15 and gets very close to the marker. And the referee won't even signal one way or the other. I think he's going to say it is 4th and short. With 2 minutes to go, Dixie cannot kneel it out because they didn't get a first. Got a decision to make. Do you send your kicker out, let him try one more? Do you know, if you get a first down here, you can kneel the game out. Or you get a touchdown, you can be accused of running it up. What are you doing, Carrick?
I think you put the offense out there and you put it right back in the hands of Silas Russell or Bennett off the edge. And then, you know, that way if you run the ball in for a touchdown
that's
on
not
4th and
up,
short,
yeah.
you know, you're just trying to get that first down and kill the clock. But
so they do leave the offense out on 4th down and a yard. Ball at about the 14-yard line. Schultz sends a guy in motion, and now either a timeout or a flag.
Well, Pineview's defensive line jumped off sides. The question is, were they induced, or are they just going to give the first down to Dixie on an offsides on an encroachment?
White hat comes out, he says. Dead ball. False start on the offense, so it'll be 4th and 6. And now at this point, I think I might kick a field goal here. Just let your special teams get some practice. But that's first guessing the coach, and I don't think Monker's going to do that. I think he's just going to go ahead and try to get the first down. You never know when you're going to need a field goal, though, right, Carrick? Down the road, you want to be well practiced.
Yeah, I'd love to see Bibiano come out here and kick one more. As it stands, Jalen Schultz is going to stay out there.
They're going to leave the offense on the field.
I wonder how much the play call changes now, if at all. Same formation.
Schultz is the quarterback on 4th down and a long 6. Sends a guy in motion and hands it to him. Tries to get to the corner, and he's splashed out of bounds, I believe, short of the first down. So Pineview with 1:09 left, I think is going to have the football.
Yeah, there was a big collision about 1 yard shy of the first down. You had offense coming off the field going Pineview's way. And, of course, you're up against the clock here. Clock's going to run no matter what you do.
Yeah, they'll stop it briefly on an out of bounds or incompletion, but then they'll restart it as soon as the ball is set with the mercy rule in place at 51-7. If you give an update real quick from over at Crimson, still 20-13, 9:25 left in that game. They're tracking a little bit behind us. But Mustangs trying to go to 2-0 in region. They have the lead. Quarterback back to pass for Pineview. They'll run it out, a little swing pass to the running back, and he'll get knocked out of bounds. That was Sanchez, I believe.
Yeah, Sanchez on the catch, finds the sideline and knocked out of bounds. Trying to get a number on the tackle, 22.
They'll restart the clock once the ball is set. There it goes, down to 45 seconds to go as Pineview tries to get set and get going.
Taylor Eakins on that last tackle.
Brown to pass. looking deep left side. Man coverage out there, and the ball is knocked away, but a flag down. I think a good play with the right hand, but Carrick, you see this a lot in football. The left hand was on the back of the receiver, and that's where you're going to have the penalty.
Yeah, you had Blake Stuckey running his route down the field, and the defender, like you said, reached up, made a great play with his right hand, but he's got the left hand draped along the back, and he's going to get his hand caught in the cookie jar.
The good news for Dixie, if he doesn't make that play, it could go for a touchdown or at least a 30 or 40-yard gain. In high school, PI is only 15 yards. So if you're beat for a touchdown, tackle the guy. That's the message, really. Before the ball gets there. First down and 10, Pineview. They restart the clock now after the penalty. They're supposed to. They didn't. As Brown back to pass. Got time, throws over the middle. Ball is caught out to the 40, out to the 45, and a good tackle made there. Reception made by Harris. Gain of about 8.
And that's the freshman. That's your freshman receiver making that tackle.
Mm-hmm. Freshman receiver, freshman.
Excuse me. I'm getting my 20s mixed up. Carter Hollings, he's a senior. My apologies. I'm getting my 20s mixed up on Pineview's freshman.
Second down and 2. Brown wants to throw deep over the middle. Got a guy. It's caught at the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and diving into the touchdown. Pineview gets it. There is a flag on the play. They signal touchdown. Might have been a face mask because it looked like it's going to be on the defender late.
Certainly can't think of anything it would be against the ball carrier at that point.
Matt Costa on the deep post catches it for a touchdown. And I think we'll have a declining of the penalty, right?
And we've got triple zeros on the clock, Andy. That was the last play of the football game.
Yep.
Did they even kick the extra point at this point?
Well, because there was a penalty on the defense, a face mask, they have to run the next play, right?
They just said that's the end of the game.
End of the game, I guess not.
It's a walk-off, but not – it's a walk-off touchdown, but it's not a walk-off with a victory.
Yeah, problem is they were down 44. So Pineview does get a long pass play to Costa late in the game on a great throw by Tyler Brown. And, boy, Carrick, I will say, first of all, this game's been over for quite some time.
Yeah.
I think one thing that might have been created here is a little quarterback controversy for Pineview because I thought Brown looked pretty darn good in the fourth quarter.
He did look really good. He had the one interception right into the end zone, right as we were starting to mention how good he'd done. And, the next throw was interception in the end zone. But, those things are going to happen. And, I was shocked, quite frankly, that we didn't see Brown get the start. I felt like he'd earned the start last week with what he did at Hurricane coming in and really keeping the team in the game and keeping them close. And I think you're absolutely right. The next game, is it Rosenlund? Is it Brown? Brown made some really, really good throws that were on the money.
That last one right along with what you're saying. And, again, Pineview will close to within 51-13 to close out the game, but it is a final. And another touchdown this time by, I believe, Snow Canyon across over in Washington. Extra point could tie it for the Warriors. And so, boy, what a great ball game over there. And if you want to tune in, you can go to sportsradio977.com. We've got postgame coming here in high school at 51-13. We've got about a 15-minute postgame coming up, brought to you by Johnson Pediatric Dentistry. When we come back, let's take a long break. Well, we have a developing situation across town, actually into Washington City, Crimson Cliffs and Snow Canyon. Great battle over there, and Carrick, we're finding out that Snow Canyon went in with what looked like was going to be the tying score. They scored a touchdown on a pass from Talon Kelly to Jake Hill, but the extra point was no good, and so with less than 7 minutes left in that game, the Mustangs are holding on to a 20-19 lead. Wow.
Well, I'm going to try to pull that game up here on Varsity Sports TV and see if we can catch the end there. And by the way, we appreciate not only our audience on 890 KDXU, 92.5 FM on the radio, but we also had some video streaming tonight, sportsradio977.com. Appreciate you tuning in. If you're still hanging out with us on the post game, we appreciate that. No replay or no highlights to show anything tonight, but we were excited to be able to show you some video and let you watch the game along with us.
For a schedule of camps, leagues, leadership training, and more, go to netsonfire.org, proud sponsor of the clock and time here on KDXU, building champions on and off the court. Thanks again to Dixie Chiropractic, Fabulous Freddy's, Intermountain Sports Medicine, and by the way, a lot of guys out there on the field making plays. And
look at Crimson wearing the all-red unis tonight.
Look like the Broncos almost, kind of orange.
Yeah,
on your
almost
screen
look orange. Either that or the Utah Utes.
Barbin complete over the middle down to the 20. We won't do play-by-play on that, but I can tell you this. Mustangs, if they can get a touchdown and maybe try for 2, go up by 9, the game's over.
Seal the deal. Do your best Kevin Harlan impression over there, calling an NFL playoff football, and you're doing play-by-play of the other game over there.
I'm sitting here by the way, Raj Christensen does a great job, PA here.
Yes.
And he's also in control of music and playing a lot of Dixie stuff. Right now, Dixieland Delight by Alabama. I had the good fortune of going on first cruise I ever went on about last month anyway. And during the cruise, I was a real big fan of the piano bar. I'd go hang out at the piano bar. A guy by the name of Robbie People was the piano guy, sing and play piano. And he said he'd been on California cruises doing the piano bar thing for the last year or so. And he said he didn't have any country music in his repertoire. Well, this cruise was out of Galveston, Texas, and he said, man, I had to do a real quick crash course, brush up on country music. And he said, I only learned one Alabama song. It was this one right here, Dixieland Delight. And to hear a British guy, actually Scottish guy, singing country music was kind of funny, especially when he said, chubby old groundhog. I guarantee he's never seen a groundhog in person. They don't have those in England.
No, it's great. Great atmosphere, really at all our Region 10 schools, but it's always a party when you come over to Waltbrook Stadium. We know that we're going to get taken care of up here in the press box. And, Roger Christensen does a great job doing what he does, get the crowd hyped up and, DJing. Good soundtrack along the way. Dixie
wins it 51-13 here tonight as the Flyers go to 1-0 in region play, 3-1 overall. And, they played such good opponents. You say, well, the most they scored before this game was 24. But I think that was kind of a little bit of a misnomer because of who they were playing. Palm Desert out of California, who I saw them on film last year. Very, very good football team. And then you go Riverton, one of the top teams in 6A. And then you go Springville, one of the top teams in 5A. I mean, this is some good football teams that they played. And at this point, for them to finally get it going, score 51 points is a pretty big deal. And I see, looks like a turnover probably, huh?
Crimson Cliffs just fumbled on the Snow Canyon 5-yard line and lost the football.
So how much time is left?
We can't see the time on there. I don't know if they'll zoom out and show us the scoreboard. But there was a handoff to Christiansen. And he tried to slip one last tackle, and the ball came out. He put it on the ground. And Snow Canyon will have it at its own 6-yard line. They'll have to go 94 yards to try to win it.
And considering the state of kicking at that level, I would say you probably have to get in the end zone or very close if you're going to have a chance to win that down by 1 point late.
Wow.
And I'm going to put that timing-wise probably under 5 minutes to go, maybe 4. And they
they almost gave it right back.
Yeah, try a throw over the middle that was to 2 defenders, and they fought each other for the football. So, all right, it's Johnson Pediatric Postgame Show here at Dixie High School, and we want to wrap things up here in the next 3 or 4 minutes. So let's hand out some awards. First of all, our Ernie Stores Player of the game. Fuel up and grab a snack like the famous chicken strips at Ernie's. St. George to Hurricane to Beaver and Cedar, delivering your player of the game all season long. And as good as Schultz was, as good as Barbin was, I think our Star Watch guy, Seth Takau, has to be your POG.
Well, and Bartsky caught 2 touchdown passes in the second half, but how do you not give it to Takau? Scores one on the ground, catches a touchdown pass, and really what could probably be and maybe will be our play of the game. We'll get to that in just a minute. The pick 6 right before halftime that really, I mean, it was a nail in the coffin. I mean, already it basically said, no, this is our game. Yeah. You're not coming back.
27-7 at the time. Pineview had the ball near midfield, maybe looking to score before halftime, and Takau steps in on what there was a holding penalty on the play, so it was kind of a free defensive play. Takau steps in and then makes a great run back for 7 points, and at that point, 34-7, it was all over but the shouting.
Yeah, Seth Takau, our Ernie Stores player of the game. Good game by him. I mean, we could give it to a bunch of guys tonight, and you know, Dixie finally had the offensive explosion, the offensive output they've been waiting for. And, you know, one of the big differences was our player of the game, Seth Takau, you know, hadn't played in all the games this year. He was a little banged up, and he's in tonight, and he shows you what an impact he has on each and every football game he's in.
Honorable mention to Jeff Christian, the running back. He rushed for 96 yards and a couple of scores in his game. Of course, Jalen Schultz was very good as well. But bottom line, though, is Takau. I think, you know, earlier in the game we were talking about this. If Takau's not in the game, it's relatively close. I think Dixie still wins, but it's a close game. With him in the game, he turns what maybe could have been a 28 or 31 to 21 game. He turns it into a 51-13 blowout.
Well, he just adds a whole other element. I mean, without Takau in the game, you can focus in on Christian. You know, you can focus in on keying on Schultz. You know, is he read option? Is he keeping it? You can focus in on Barbin coming off the edge, but with Takau in there, and it opens up everything, so much in the offense.
All right, let's get to our AWP Playmaker Play of the Game. It's easier than you think. To buy direct and save at Appliance Wholesalers Plus, the #1 playmakers in the appliance business, open to the public. They're across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart, and we already talked about it. Play of the game. Definitely a game changer. The pick 6 by Seth Takau.
Yeah, it's set to count 27-7 at the time. Pineview has the ball late in the first half, and you know, just trying to keep a play alive. There was a holding penalty that, you know, no matter what, the play's coming back. Well, except if there's an interception, and Takau, you know, about, I don't know, what was it, the 45, 50-yard line, almost midfield, caught the sideline, and he was gone.
Big 55-yard run back by Takau made it 34-7, and second half was almost inconsequential from that point on as Dixie runs away with this. And Pineview scores on the last play to make it 51-13, but that'll do it as Pineview goes down hard to Dixie. Dixie 1-0 and 3-1. Pineview 0-4 and 0-2 now in region play. That'll wrap things up from here. Thanks again to Johnson Pediatric Dentistry and all our Region 10 sponsors here on KDXU. Let's go back to regular programming again. It's a final 51-13 as Dixie all over Pineview.